Alright, let's see if we are functioning here.
It's good to see you.
Hey, Lupe's got clothing again. Not invisible. Fantastic. Hello, folks. We're going to do some patch testing tonight. See if everything's working as it should.
Yeah.
A lot of itchy people here. You guys need some disease cures? Let's see if I got you help. If I can help you out. Love seeing that animation. Alright, what about you, buddy? Holding your stomach. Ah, there we go.
Yeah.
Everybody good now? Alright. How about you guys? Just hanging out in the bathroom?
Miss Telefuente to stop asking how I'm doing. I know she means well, but it's starting to give me a complex. Yes.
You have no idea what it's been like scrounging around for 2 centuries with this ugly mug.
Hello, folks. How's the volume today? I've been talking to the NPCs to
Smells like 5 Nessies working overtime. Jules must be
check and see how we're doing.
Always nice to see you around.
No disease cures for you guys.
Papa Carl. Oh, sorry. Thought you were one of our feral friends.
I thought he was broken for a second. I thought he was trying to talk to the ghoul still. NPCs are a little quiet. Alright, we can crank that up. Audio. Up the master. That might be too high, but we'll see how we go. You're a little loud. NPCs are too low. Let me check my mic output. Okay. I'm not peaking, so that's good. You are a little loud. That's very strange. I'm like looking at my OBS settings and I'm not going above yellow. So that's usually where you want to be. Right in the yellow mode. Alright, I'm going to turn this down a smidge. Alright, I'm going to turn this down to here. I don't want to go too quiet. Desktop audio is already maxed out. So I guess all I can do is crank up the master volume. Alright, let's go talk some more NPCs, see how we do.
Come on, boss. This is no way for these people to live.
But like, what is
Hello, boss.
evil, really? So I smash his skull too.
Good work, Sneak.
You robots could really spruce this place up.
Didn't I build a lab? We should go check out. I need to go check out my lower floors and see
Time
how
to
things
break
are
out the
looking.
Tools. This place needs a lot of work.
So how,
Jules
are we?
is so smart and
Are we any?
scary
Are we any
sometimes.
better?
She thinks I
Did
didn't
me
notice you're
changing,
selling
tinkering the
jet to
volume help at all?
caravans all these years.
All right, let's go check some of these other floors. I'm curious how things have been going. I feel like I keep building stuff and I don't ever go visit it. To the office level.
Going down.
Jim Simon says sounds good to me. Anybody else? Give me a thumbs up. There's not. I'm running low on options to tinker. Other than I can turn down my mic volume a little more.
Ground floor.
Ding ding. And this place is still a dump down here. I got a lot of cleanup projects to do. Whew. You guys need to get on the cleaning. Yeah, I don't think oh, you know what? I think I've been focusing on the main room, just trying to turn it into living quarters. Put in here. Yeah, it's all nasty in there too. So much room to build. I'm in good shape.
Been in worse places. Barely.
Oh, there's Crow, our super settler.
Used to live in a swamp. This place reminds me of there.
Oh, you three are bunk buddies.
Anything I can take my wrench to?
Disease cure for you. Here you go. Passing these all around. I gotta go. Oh, without a known cure. Bummer. What do you got? What do you got, Nox? Mole rat. Oh, yeah, it's mole rat disease. That's right. Deep Dive Gaming. Saw your video earlier. How soon are you thinking the new WSW will be ready?
It's not grateful.
I mean, it'll
I'd
be
really like it if we
unless
could improve
somebody
things around
finds
here.
something really
I
nasty with
suppose
it
more
with the
places
public
to
beta,
work.
and I'm running it right now, so we'll find out. Then it'll be out next Friday, like officially, non-beta. So I'm feeling pretty good about it so far. But the ultimate test is going to be when we get some Xbox players or and some people who have potato machines playing Fallout 4 with it, because the big fix that Workshop Framework's bringing is effectively taking all of the workshop items that impact your numbers and keeping them in memory forever. Like, there's a lot of stuff that already gets kept in memory forever in the game. Like the workshops themselves already do, and like your companions probably do, and there's a lot of stuff like that. But adding in all of the workshop items is quite the jump in amount of items. So we just need to make sure that it's okay. The thinking is that Fallout 4 is now what, 7 years old, so the memory constraints are going to be basically non-existent. You think about like your system in 2015 versus your system today. Like average, like if you just aren't going to have a low memory system anymore, right? Like it might have been the norm in 2015 to get like, you know, what, 16 gigs of RAM, and now I don't think anybody goes that low. I think you can buy, like the machines you buy off the shelf have more than that. So I think outside of like the original Xbox, I don't anticipate it being a problem. But we will see. Just gotta get some feedback. I feel like I built one of the labs. Did I built the weapons lab? No, this looks like it's cleaned, but not built. Maybe I built the armor lab. That would be over here. I would say, Quester, I would say, for the initial test, I mean, it really doesn't matter. It's like, it's if a popular mod like that, like UFO4P, if that is problematic with the new patch, then that's like a deal breaker, right? Like, I'm okay with it, you know, not working with, you know, a quest mod or you know, random gun mod or whatever, where it's just small sacrifice. UFO4P is like, it's more popular than Workshop Framework itself, so like that would be a pretty bad one to not support. Yeah, I think the armor lab was it. I can't tell if that was like already in there, because I actually don't remember what the vanilla room looks like. I guess I should shrink this down so I can see you guys chat a little better. You might want to have someone test. How about the problem? Jake stopped working after I installed patch 222A. Interesting. Is anybody else experiencing that? I haven't. There's not, like, nothing got touched in that patch at all. But that is one of the quests that probably gets the most mod conflict issue. Like it's like just the tiniest little change can, because that's a sensitive quest. It's very complicated. Okay, this is just a standard workbench. This is not a lab. So I don't think so. Yeah, because it would have said use lab services. So that must just be here by default. So I haven't built any of the labs. Okay. That answers that question. How about up on our rooftop? Did I build much in the exterior? Up we go. Not crazy. Quick question. For the city plan contest, does the city plan editor mod auto fully unlock mech layer, or do we need to add a line of code to the workshop? You should be able to just go to mech layer with that. This guy, some of these guys, yeah, these guys have been following me around for a while. I don't know why they keep teleporting to wherever I go. I think it's because I gave them commands once, and now they don't know what to do.
Last mistake.
Well, here, guys, you can come out here and fight some gunners. Some gunner respawns. Clef and Franklin, you guys are taking them down. And Catherine. Oh, there they are. Ah, missed.
Come on, asshole.
Come on, buddy. Can't have your home back. It's ours now. How's he stuck back here? Hey, buddy.
Why do people always pick on me?
Gotcha. Oh, how did Dogmeat get over there? Good old teleporting. Yeah, I'm probably wrong about the numbers. I just know that the as far as like 16 gigs or whatever, I just don't remember how much memory I had back then. But the requirements for the game are super low. Like I don't know, what did original Xbox One probably, what did that have? Let's check. Forget, I don't need to just talk out my butt. We can just look this stuff up. Xbox One original specs. Let's see here. Xbox One. How much memory did this thing have? Hardware. Internal. So it had 8 gigs of RAM. So like anybody, if you're on 16, you have twice the game's requirements. So like I'm betting, I actually wouldn't be shocked if like Fallout 4's original system requirements were less than that. Let's look that up. Fallout 4 system requirements. Yeah, 8 gigs of RAM. So like anybody you guys on 16, like that's total. You're at twice what the game requires. So anyway, the point was is we figure any system, even if your system's a little bit older, is going to be able to handle a slightly more memory usage, because it's not a ton of memory usage. Like each item that we persist is going to add like a couple of kilobytes of additional memory usage. So it would take, you know, thousands of items to have any significant impact. And it's not like we're persisting every single workshop item. It's just those that impact your resources. And like plots were already being persisted. Plots are already, so if you're building, you know, almost entirely with plots and maybe a few turrets, all you're talking about persisting in addition is like your power generators, your wires, and your turrets. And that's the only difference in this new workshop framework. And should have a significant positive impact. It should just make the whole system run a lot better, because we don't have to worry about things getting unloaded from memory, and then we query them for information of being like, you know, what's the defense score at the settlement, and it comes back all wonky because half the items aren't in memory anymore. So it should just generally be a boon for everybody. Like I said, I would love to hear some feedback from Xbox players, but that's the only group I anticipate having much of an issue, if they even have an issue. It's also very likely that Bethesda underdid it, like basically left themselves a big buffer, because they know this is a big dynamic game that players play hundreds of hours on their saves, so they probably left a huge buffer of memory usage. Let's see here. It's all clear now. Is the common area in the very back of HQ main floor supposed to have decoration plans? That's when I play through it.
Yeah.
Is it the foyer right now? I think has not. We didn't. That was the only room we did not ship with any designs for. So we have a design on paper that we're going to do with this. We just didn't have time to implement it because it requires a lot of technical stuff. So I don't know when we'll ever get to it. So in the meantime, it's a nice spot for add-on pack authors to give you guys something to do. But yeah, there's nothing to build there right now. You can just clean it. Yeah, my armor's back. I finally got the armor fixed. I think the public beta we posted, somebody posted that Alyssa's outfit disappeared, but Lupe's is back now. Mine's corrected. Mansfield we fixed on camera, but it's also good in the public beta. So as far as I know, so far the only one anyone's caught is Alyssa. We're in the process of digging through all the files, trying to figure out what we can cut to get Xbox enough space so they can play Chapter 3. So outfits are one of the bigger chunks of the mod space-wise, so we're doing a lot there, and that is why we're running some issues. And in addition, Beebs, who handles a lot of our technicals on the outfits, is just trying to clean them up. So like we found a lot of them had VATS issues, and some of them were missing the ballistic weave slot, so just kind of cleaning them up right now. So basically every single outfit, like if you look at the last patch note, it lists like we tinkered with outfits for the following characters, and then it lists almost every NPC in SS2 because it was just such a deep dive on the outfits. But that means there's probably a few that we grabbed the wrong files, deleted the wrong files, did something funky that we need to resolve. So that's again another reason we're in public beta, because the outfits, the way we're doing the transition of them is we're migrating all the files over to SS2 Extended, and then changing the outfits on our characters as much as possible. We're making a few exceptions for like the Nightingales and like Jake, like our main cast, like Jake. Without Jake's outfit, I can't think of a vanilla outfit that would work well with him. So we're keeping a handful of them in there, but trying to keep it minimal. And then that should make the transitions seamless. But again, if we misorganized our files or whatever because of going through this deep dive, need to know about that. Shouldn't cause any crashes though. I think it'll just, worst case scenario, you just get to see what I did, like Lupe with a floating head. So all right, I'm just kind of running in circles and talking because I'm waiting for 9 o'clock for those of you guys who are new to the stream. Generally, I try and wait till whatever I posted time is for the stream. I try and wait to actually engage in gameplay until then. So we're like 30 seconds away now. Deep Dive Gaming, any idea why my 2 settlements are not sharing resources, even though they are caravan plots? I would go check if you click on the ASAM sensor for the caravan, it'll tell you why it's not connecting. Could also be a distance thing. Well, that's 9 o'clock, so welcome guys to the stream. Today we are playing with the public beta of SS2 and Workshop Framework. So there's not a lot of specific features to test out. Like the one thing that I could actually theoretically test is the HQ radio global options, but because I'm pretty much done with all the quests that involve the HQ radio, it's not really relevant to my playthrough. So really what we're doing is just trying to make sure that we don't get any funky issues. Like I don't want to see the return of the long save. I don't want to see any crashes. I don't want to see any like massive frame rate hits, stuff like that. We're just watching for any wonkiness. But otherwise, it's just a lot of bug fixes. If you go look at the patch notes, like I fixed the and have confirmed in my own save that I fixed the bug that was causing my organic resources to go through the moon. That's why I have so many more organics than any of the other types. I have fixed a lot of random plot bugs. Like there's just a lot of good bug fixes in this code. So we've been focusing on bug fixing lately because we're not about to drop the 3.0 patch, but it's coming up and I'm like getting really deep in the code. I want to try and avoid putting all that code on top of code that's problematic. So we're doing a lot of work in fixing up the existing code so that when we get to the 3.0 patch, we're not adding bugs on top of bugs. Like we will always add, when we add a bevy of new features, there's always going to be hiccups, but I would like to make sure the stuff that you guys already have got is stable. So we're just focusing on that right now. So yeah, want to get some public beta feedback. If you guys have some time to poke around with it, it's available on the forums. If you go to simsettlements.com, click on the forums link, and then the news section, it's like the first post I made in the news. You can you can download that. It's publicly available. For Xbox players, there is no public beta other than for Workshop Framework, because the Workshop Framework thing is the most dangerous change, I guess. And I'm using that term only from the terms of modding, like as far as like it's a big change to the way something Workshop Framework works. It is not like I anticipate that any problems. You're not going to suddenly, your game's not going to break or something. Worst case scenario, if your game had overloaded on memory, you would just roll back to Workshop Framework itself, and then go back to the last save you did before you used the public beta, and you'd be fine. But yeah, so if you're new to the stream, I get distracted very easily. So what I tend to do is just focus on the game as much as possible, and I'll tell you guys stories about dev stuff and behind the scenes things and try and explain mechanics in depth, but I will largely ignore chat unless I'm on a load screen or an NPC is talking. So if you want to get my attention, definitely at King Gath, because I'll be way behind on chat, and so seeing my name highlighted helps me filter through some of the chat. And then when we get about halfway through the stream, around 10:30, 11ish, then I switch gears and do the opposite. Basically park my character, chat with you guys. I can show you guys specific stuff, answer questions or whatnot. So let's get into playing today. So right now we're pretty much focused on HQ because I've run the Ron out of options. He has no more characters for me currently. And I think part of that is I just need to build more stuff. So like I don't have all the requirements at any given settlement to unlock everybody. For example, I know I need to go build a brewery if I want to get Monty Fireline, which we might go do just to take a break from running around HQ forever. And I need to get some more people. So like I'm starting to get to the point where I'm stretching my departments thin, and I just need more folks in here, especially admin. We up to the max worker count, but I need more. Actually, that's a pretty good buffer there. I can see on my admin department, I'm only using 5 energy right now, so that's actually pretty good. But I do want to make sure I'm not dealing with more runaways, because that eats into my energy real fast. And I got a lot of space left, 38 or 45. I can get 7 more people here. I actually think I can only get 6 more. I think one of the... So if you ever notice that your counts don't add up correctly, like I can see my department counts don't add up perfectly to my population, there's a bug in the... it's not really a bug. It's a quirk in the way those numbers are shown. There's a little number that gets attached to an NPC that can be a settler called Workshop population rating or Workshop rating population, one of the two. I can't remember which order it is. And if an NPC is lacking that, they can be part of a settlement or a part of HQ without increasing that number. And so there's a chance that one of our named NPCs is just missing that little field. And I'd have to go back and fix that if I can figure out who it is. Jason Locrance, thank you for the donation. Appreciate all the hard work on the road to 3.0. Thank you. I'm real excited for it. I love when we get these old bugs fixed. Like there's one of them that's been driving me nuts that I think I finally fixed is related to plot stuff. So folks would often report that like a plot was stuck, broken, and they don't know why, and it's almost impossible to replicate. And I think I finally found like the combination of issues that would occur when I was working on the pre-build system. So I was starting to do the from Conquer, we had the pre-build system where you would basically get to start your game with a bunch of settlements built, and in doing that I think I was able to replicate some of the plot issues. So there's some nice fixes in the patch notes that worked at least for the pre-build. I don't know if they'll work for all of you. I hope so. Okay, let's get some cleaning done. We need to get some more stuff built. I kind of just want to clean everything. We're almost done with the main level, so let's just finish this up. So upper offices east, what do we got here? I think this is the one where I can do the library and the gym. Yeah, I'm gonna do a library here. Okay. And then we're going to do upper south offices east. Which one is this? So upper south is going to be... So we're on the south side, so that's going to be probably... Oh, whatever it was, I only had one option because it didn't prompt me. But usually it's supposed to prompt anyway. Is it this one maybe? Oh, I think upper south offices is this one. I think this one. Let me think about where my cardinal directions here. So this is north. Yeah, so it must be this one. Which there is nothing to assign it to. It's already the meeting room and you can't change that. So that's probably what that is. So then that means west should be this guy. So it should let me build a classroom there. Yep, staff training room. There we go. Get the staff training room. And then the supply room is probably this one over here by the elevator. And we can do hazmat supply closet, bathroom. We'll do hazmat supply, sure. We'll see if I guessed correctly on that. Pretty sure that's the one from the little icon there. Oh, it's when it goes under construction. You get the little markers. I'm waiting for the little the little things to appear. Actually, I don't know if we set them up for this little tiny room. It might have been that it was too awkward to cram them in there, so we just didn't. All right, let's go to. Let's do some repairs too. I can get like this wall. This is terrible. This floating control thing. Like we gotta get this fixed. Let's go to repair. Oh, are we short on? Oh, I just need to. I need to exit out. So if you ever are in HQ doing stuff and you see up at the top your energy is coming back down again, until you exit command mode, it can't refresh your energy, and that's just a default engine thing. Like the game, which is weird because you would think that it would be capable of updating, since if you scrap something in workshop mode, it'll update your available resources. But for whatever reason, when we place things into the bench with scripts, it doesn't update what you can build, which is weird. Okay, we don't want to office level, I want main level. Yeah, let's repair our domes. Can we afford this now? A little skylight, sure. Let's do that. Oop, pushed us into overdrive on the facilities department. Hopefully we don't get another runaway. I'm not seeing anybody else with disease issues. That's good. Although somebody brought mole rat disease here, so that's going to start spreading everywhere. I guess I should check. I needed to get more science people. I was going to start doing research, I think, when we were on at the end of last week's episode or last week's live stream episode. And then we ran into the issue of like I just don't have enough science people yet. Yeah. 40. This one needs water. That's right. It was so we do need to bounce around settlement some more. I got to start solving my food and water issues. So I don't have enough surplus food and water at my settlements because I've been basically like single-mindedly focused on power for so long that I kind of let my food and water get destroyed. Okay, well that's another thing we can focus on. Sorry, science department, you gotta wait till we have time to deal with that. What can we do from engineering right now? Upgrades. Okay, we need facilities for the antenna upgrade. Wow, we don't even have enough people for that. I'm gonna have to get more people in facilities. Let's see, what is this one? Administration rooms, administrative archivers, plus one admin job. Sure, we can do that. Really push ourselves into the red on the facilities energy. Oh, Yawgate has an invisible collision. Okay, so that maybe that's the maybe there's something funky with the what we used as the construction markers, and they didn't. Let's see if I can walk in there now, or if we got collision. Yeah, I wonder if there's something funky broken with the mesh that we used there, or it could be. There's always occasionally issues with Fallout 4 where with the draw calling and the way the game works can just make things disappear. I'm sure you guys have seen it. If you stand next to a weapon workbench and you twist it just at the right angle, the workbench just disappears before it's off your screen. Could be something like that. All right. What else can engineering do right now? Admin rooms, common areas. Yeah, let's get some light. Oh, plus 10 power usage. Let's not do that yet. I don't think we need more. Let's check our... If I can remember my hotkey. Let's see. What did I set up as a hotkey? Was it K? Yeah, there it is. All right, so max power engineering right now is 1100. And we're at 1050 from people. Yeah, we don't need any more in HQ yet. What's this one? Water treatment. Water, we have a HQ max of 125. Worker max of 525. Okay, we might as well build this. We're just short on, we just don't have water. We don't have any surplus water, so I need to go take care of that. But might as well get our HQ max up. Living quarters. Okay, we can get more
security required
in the mid-floor.
Report to the main hall.
What's this one? Oh yeah, I want to build this one just because it's fun.
The man in the trench coat has been spotted again.
Let's see here. Southwest cubicle. Okay, so these are all the cubicles in the center of that big giant room on the office level. All right, what do we got here? Cafeteria, improved lighting, plus 5 power usage. Here we go, plus 30 max food logistics. What's our food right now? We've got 60. Yeah, so they need a little more. They need a buffer, so we'll get them a cooking lab. And anybody who's built the cooking lab, you probably wondered how the heck you're supposed to use it. That is something we will solve eventually. It was one of those things that worked at some point in development, and during we did some major overhauls during HQ coding. Like, it worked dramatically different at several points. And then when we finally got this command mode all working how I wanted it to, it required us to basically, the way this works under the hood is every time you exit command mode, it just erases everything that's in the inventory of the workshop. So this technically HQ is really a settlement. And we've just kind of hacked the build menu and changed the way it works dramatically from a traditional settlement, but it still has the same underlying mechanics because they're engine level, and that's that there's a container where all the stuff that you see here available to build from has to live in. And to allow us to constantly shift it and do these energy things tied to it, basically every time you exit command mode, it erases everything. So that meant we couldn't have it like hold food items from other settlements for you to do crafting with. Yeah, because otherwise it would basically eat those from the other settlements. So we just don't have a solution for it yet. So I have some ideas, but it's going to take a little bit. Let's see, rad scrubbers, that'd be nice, but I don't want more food and power water usage. Okay, we can do some security cameras just because these are fun. Let's see here, it's just engineering energy, right? All right, we'll do the inside ones first. All right, let's go back to facilities. We're just building for fun now. Trying to get this place all cleaned up too. So it's not, I think the first floor I'm 100% clean on now, so it should be nice and pretty everywhere we go. Oh, we got another itchy person. Do you have mole rat disease? If not, I got you. I got a cure for you. All right. No, I can't have many of those left. Let's see here. Construction. All right, what are we gonna need next? So I think we got buffers, and we got space in all of the departments. Engineering's our closest where we could use some more, so we'll go ahead and do that. And we can get some restrooms out of it too. We can build. Oh, what happened there? Oh, I got to do a room select. Okay, so we've got. So this one looks like. Why is that so small? This must be that's the mid level. All right, so I'm gonna put this down on my list. So they're supposed to be, roughly the same size, just to make it easier to tell what you're looking at. So I'm gonna put. Let's see, office level, room selector, transform. Too small. Don't mind me just taking bug notes. Alright, let's get that cleaned up. Okay, we'll put this here. And we'll go ahead and build this one too. Why not? All the bathrooms. Gotta get these engineers to work putting in toilets. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I wonder if I have enough food yet. Yeah, I do. I've got food and water now. We could do a... so I think the attacks on HQ still don't work. I think it's one of those things where, like, it looks correct in code, and it's set up the same as the other disasters, but I think there's something funky with it, because I have yet to have anybody report anything about attacks, like whether it be... Because usually... If a system's, whether a system's working or not, somebody will report a bug about it. And I don't think I've seen anybody report anything about attacks on HQ other than they're wondering if they're happening for anybody else. So my guess is they're not happening. So this reduced the impact of attacks. Doesn't really mean anything right now, but it is fun to see people patrolling outside. So kind of want to do that. But I think if we got enough, I'm going to take advantage of our, let's see, I think we'll do our engineering away missions or logistics, because these are... where we get to start messing with settlements out there, which is fun. So that's what I wanted to do at one point. I didn't have enough food for it. Yeah, so we need 50 energy, which we're way short on. We have enough food, though, so that's good. So I bet we can do... We should be able to do the engineering one, is my hope. Okay, let's go to Tinker. Okay, so we just need a little bit more energy. We have enough food and water now. So I guess we'll do the security until we get that resolved. We can cancel the security watch game if we want, just to see some guys wandering around outside. It's fun. We don't have a ton of security energy, so we'll pick, I guess, Eastern Perimeter. Sure. Okay, and I guess it auto-selected somebody because I don't have the option. So if you ever, some of these things like so there's any of these projects where it mentions like sending a team outside of HQ, you can actually choose who goes if you go into the configuration options, and this is in the holotape too. Should be under the HQ settings. So if we go to some settlements, gameplay, go down to the HQ section, it is mission worker selection. So it's turned off by default just because the general design pattern of HQ is to make it so that once you do something in command mode, we don't want to have to prompt you with anything. Like there are occasions where we have no choice. Like obviously if if you clean the room, we got to make sure you get to choose what the room becomes. And if there are multiple rooms that have that can have the same thing installed, we got to let you choose which one you want it to go in. But the staff you choose doesn't have any impact on it other than flavor. So like it doesn't matter to do the mission worker select, but it can be fun. It's especially cool because you can send multiple people on it and then you'd see them all kind of wandering around outside together. So I'm going to see if we can catch this person doing their little patrol route. One of them showed the red icon not being assigned to anything. Interesting. I wonder if that's why that's where our numbers are all funky, where we've got like the 38 instead of it. I wonder if I have somebody in HQ who's not really there. So I guess I said Eastern Perimeter, right? So that'd be over here. Wait, what? Oh, these are the respawns. Get out of here. Sorry, doggo. I'm coming for you, buddy. Oh, you're good. Okay. See if we can find our guy patrolling over here. Oh, we got no caravans today. Oh, here comes the person. Sneak. Got assigned. I think he just rocks no weapon. I think he just runs around fist fighting everybody. Perfect person for guard duty. We'll see how you do when the gunners come back. That or he decided to leave. It could be that too. Occasionally I come out here looking to see if anybody's patrolling, and it happens like in testing, and it would be like, oh, there's a deserter right now that are just wandering off to a town. No, this looks like he's going to go on the patrol path. So yeah, if you have the mission worker select, you could send like your whole security team if you wanted, and it doesn't impact the energy. Like I said, it's just for flavor. And that goes the same for the other missions, like the engineering or the logistics. It's all just about who you want to see out in the world for fun. And he'll just wander back and forth. I think it goes like to the north side up there and then wanders like all the way back down the street. And we'll just patrol indefinitely until we turn it off. Okay, let's head over to some settlements. Let's see what we got where we can recruit some more folks and start increasing our food and water so that we can start doing more of those kind of missions. And more importantly, we need to get our disease cures moving. So let's see. Oh, Abernathy's up to 15. That feels like quite the jump. I must have finally fixed things there. Okay, we could also claim Slog and Green Top. Have we got any settlements over here? Didn't get Merkel. Oh, yeah, Jamaica Plain. Okay, so let's go to... I think we were doing a lot of work in Starlight. We went crazy with the power there. How's our sunshine looking? Have we stripped it of all? It's 23 people still. Okay, we can still take some more people from here. Yogi, since we're looking at HQ, since I've been a bit out of touch with the broader community, how's the progress going on the Atom Maker's Toolkit update for HQ stuff? So I've actually been putting out... I put out the first 4 tutorials on the wiki already. I've been sending them to a few people who have shown a lot of interest in it, and some of the people who I know are actively working on HQ add-on packs. And when I get the whole thing done, then I'll put it out as an update, as an add-on toolkit update. But anybody who wants to learn how to do some of the HQ stuff, pretty much all the information you need to do new designs for the rooms is up now on the wiki. If you go to wiki.simsettlements2.com, there's a section on creating add-ons, and you will find how to do building designs in there. All right, let's... I've been playing too much Skyrim apparently. I just tried to hit the wait button, and there isn't such a thing in Fallout.
The dog out of my flowers, it would be perfect.
Okay, let's wait this storm out. Cannot wait to hear any damage. Fine, then we're gonna console command sheet. I'm trying to avoid this as much as possible. Oh, you know what? We don't have to. We got Workshop Plus. We just pop in Workshop mode, and we get insta good weather. Hey, and flight even worked today. That's amazing. All right, so how are we doing here? We got tons of extra food and water here, which means we're likely short in some of our other settlements. Let's see it juggle around a little bit. Let all these numbers stabilize. Okay, lots of power. Defense 145. All right, what can we sacrifice here? Because this place originally was just going to be my feeder settlement. I wasn't intending to keep it around, but now it's like turned into like a legit operation here, so I don't want to just send everybody away. I think we got to go back to our... Oh, we got some Minutemen visiting. Yep. We got to go back to our scan and find the best candidates to send back to HQ.
You have a minute? I have a few things you might like.
No, thank you. You're a power plant engineer. You're stuck here. We cannot risk messing with our power right now. Yeah. Oh, this thing upgraded. This is... I think that's level 3. Although, where's the smog? We need to refresh that. I got to see me some smog. What's the point in having a coal power plant if we don't get a big cloud of smoke, too? Let's see if that works. Otherwise, that's going on the emergency bug fix list. That's like my favorite part of Industrial Revolution was all the... In fact, I used it in the trailers and stuff because I was so happy to have just tons of smoke pouring out. I see the fan is stuck there. Can we shoot it? Well, not with a camera. We can't. We can only shoot Aiden with a camera. Aw, no smog. Well, we got to get that fixed. Let's put that on the bug fix list. No smog from coal plant. Is everyone else experiencing this too? Or is this a me thing? Oh, cool. The crow building leveled up. Look at that. Look at that cool little thing that Ono designed on top of those buildings. It's so awesome looking. Love that thing. And then we got a whole bunch of them here. Need more global warming. Yes. That is what we need in Fallout 4. The Commonwealth is too green. A lot of visitors. It's hard to find actual settlers here. We got visitors. We got feral ghouls. We got Minutemen visiting. We got Children of Adam. I think we are like 50-50 on settlers and non-settlers. What about you, Sheffield? What's your... Well, you're working in the water. We can't take you. I guess that's the problem, is we can't really take many people from here right now. Because we probably need all this defense to handle all these resources. Oh, we're still... Yeah, look at that. We're still down on defense because of all this power, I assume. Cleanliness I'm not worried about yet. How are we short on beds? That's not right. There's something funky with that meter. I think somebody else reported that to me. I have it in my notes about I need to look into the homes meter. Oh no, there it goes. It just filled up. It was just lagging behind. I had that on my notes of like looking into the homes meter. No, the homes meter is still in full. It's the jobs that's full. Looking into the homes meter, that folks are saying that I think the report was if you have more beds than people, then the meter gets screwy. So could be that the math in the flash file is backwards. And it says we're short on power. For what? Who needs power here? I guess you do. Okay. Are you not wired into the grid? Some serious combat going on. Not my problem. How about here? Nope. Okay. I guess we're doing a... We gotta build another power pole. This is a very long-lasting fight. Ooh, that's no good. Get that out of here. Why was that clipping through like that? Where was that even going? Oh, there's the fighting. Well, now I'm just curious. Why is it taking so long? You guys need to murder Wait. Are they fighting Terry and JoJo?
We are chosen.
Oh, that's funny. Alright, you guys need to stop following me. Let's send you guys... Move to 250 FE, which that should be Sanctuary. We'll let them figure out how to go from there. Good luck, guys. At least you won't fight the Children of Adam anymore. Alright, back to what we were doing. Trying to get a connection over here. Oh, we got no ceramic. We ran into this problem before. I remember the toilet hunt that never was. You know what? I bet the Sim Settlements versions require no ceramic, if I know myself. Yep. Okay. Yeah, we'll put a flag up. We'll call that good. Why won't this click? There we go. Okay, did that power this guy up? It did. Alright, let's see if that satisfies our power needs now. It does. Alright, so now we're just short on defense once again. Why isn't this guy upgraded? Level 1. Oh, because it doesn't have anybody assigned. No, it's got to have somebody assigned. Let's see. Yeah, that was probably... Sometimes these invisible markers... See, I'm hovering over right here in this kind of ether here, and there's no name. There's some sort of invisible marker. It's probably not set up correctly. Okay, so this thing needs to level up. Which it should be able to. 100 happiness, we're good to go there. Okay, let's get back on our hunt to find some good settlers that aren't doing anything important.
Yeah?
You're a prospector. Perfect. And what are you even working? Are you working... Oh, this might be rare materials. I might need this person. Armor materials are not great. Yeah, okay. I gotta keep that person on that. We need the grid supervisor.
Oh, hi.
Fair price for goods is all I ever asked.
Plus overhead, of course.
Need to get back to Diamond
Mechanic.
City
What is
one of
she
these
doing?
days.
Let's see. Scan.
Biggest town I ever saw.
Profession mechanic. What is mechanic? And doesn't have a home. I'm trying to remember which one mechanic is. Anybody remember what mechanic is? Alright, who's got an extra spot in their houses? Somebody's got 28 beds here. You've got 2 people. You're lacking defense. Okay. Yes, that is a feral that walked by. One of the characters that we recruited had you tranquilizing feral ghouls, and then he trained them to be helpers. So they wander around and guard this settlement now. Oh, we still have this organics. Somebody assigned to that. Okay, that can, whoever that person is can go. All right, let's do it that way then. Yeah, somebody asked. Yeah, so Lacey still has her old outfit. Yeah, everybody will still get their old outfits. When I was talking about everyone losing their outfits, that's only for Xbox players. Everybody else, anybody using SS2 Extended will not be affected. We're not trying to get rid of the custom outfits. Just Xbox players have to sacrifice some stuff. So we're trying to look for things that are not gameplay related. We can get rid of. So like some of the stuff we'll probably pluck from Xbox are going to be like the dynamic soundscape, the custom outfits. We already did this a while ago. We shrunk down the textures. I think in this next update, we're taking away all of the spec and normal maps on the textures. So some of SS2 textures are going to look a little muddy on Xbox. But again, if it's the choice between that and, you know, being able to play our whole quest line, I think most people would opt for the quest line. Okay, we're going to track the occupants. Oh, they're just hanging out inside. Didn't even bother to check that. Viceroy. Guess what, buddy? Well, actually, I should scan
Nobody
you.
asked about me, did they?
No.
Never mind. Forget I asked.
Let's see. What are you good at? You got luck, of course. Yeah. All right. He could go. 5 is not bad in science. In that, he could work in the science department. All right. Let's do. So we just do not need any more organics. In fact, I'm going to change this building plan after I send him away. All right.
I'd like to trade some items.
No, that's not what I want.
Don't worry. I won't stick around too long.
I just want to trade a few things.
Uh-oh. What's going on here? Oh, I wonder if we're in... So, Sunshine has a couple of dead zones in it where it doesn't count you as being in the settlement. Let's get you over here. Come over here. So I think the recruitment clipboard is set up to only work within the settlement. So let's get him to wander over here. Oh man, I almost forgot I had a coffee over here. Where'd he decided not to listen to me. All right, we're gonna do this the console. Oh, he just can't find his way. All right, well then, buddy, we're gonna do the old console command method over here. And move to player. I think console commands in Bethesda game is what's going to stop me from wanting to play on Xbox anymore. Even though I did for Fallout 4. And I started to on 76 and then realized I'm just used to playing on PC now. So I've got the load screen times 2, I think, are the other big one that's going to turn me off from it. Load screens on Xbox, man, that's brutal.
Would you be interested in coming to work for me?
Off we go. Okay, let's go get rid of that organics before I forget and somebody else does it. And actually, let's turn it into a brewery. I want to get Monty Phylon, and we can start doing his little quest line. So we'll change this to a. Oh, this is gonna. I gotta always remember to, before I tear a building down, I need to build some more storage, or I'm gonna lose a bunch of resources. Actually, in this case, I'm not. I'm down to 66471 because I've been doing so much building in HQ. So, cool. We're not going to run out. All right, let's change this. And we can untrack to track off. building plan. The brewery. We should also build... I've been waiting to build the... well, I'm going to wait to build the distillery because there's a little extra bit coming to the distillery quest in a patch sometime soon. Maybe the next patch. Or not this patch next week, but maybe the week after that. Or the patch after that, rather. We'll see. Okay, what other useless plots what do we have here? Because that's probably a better approach to this. I guess we could keep the clinic because it helps with keeping diseases at bay. Or at least it helps them cure them faster. And given how many disease problems we're having right now, it's probably not a bad idea. I guess we can give up the Martian store. I love it, but it's not particularly helpful right now. Like, we have... What's our cap? What are our caps looking like? Yeah, we have 56,000 caps. We do not need anybody on commercial right now. So...
Can I ask you something?
Why don't you go work with your brother?
You interested in coming to work for me?
Off to Jan and you go. Alright, and I'll just leave that there because it looks cool. Especially like the spotlight. Alright, what else do we have we can sacrifice here? This person with their outdoorsy living. I forgot I set this up like this. Let's close them off while we're sitting here. Alright, come on. Click in. Oh, we need some like extra tall walls for this. Come on, drop in. Oh, I guess I gotta mess with these over here. Surface snap. There we go. No, make it corner. Come on. How can we do this? Let's see here. No, that looks awful. All right, let's turn off object snap. We're just gonna kind of plaster this thing in here. I guess we should line all this up with this. Ooh, that looks extra jank. Alright, scoot you in. Okay. What do we got here? Oh, now I want object snap. Okay. No? Don't want to snap in there? Alright, well, let's give him a doorway. I'm about to give up on this mission. I'm already losing interest with the snapping not working. Alright. Come on, turn. Turn, you little bugger. Oh, I guess it's probably not because all this stuff is in the way. Really doesn't want to click onto there. All right. Well, you just gained a doorway and a half wall, so you're in better shape than you were before I started. All right. What else do we have here? We can't sacrifice any of our resources, so it was pretty much just organic materials, and we could potentially sacrifice the clinic still. Okay. Alright, so I think another thing, let's check on let's make sure you have a house. Let's see here. Because now that I just sent two people away, there should be homes available for her.
This place is far better than Diamond City, I'll tell you that much.
Alright, let's see if you got a home now. Has home false. Alright, we're going to just go manually assign her to a home and see what happens. See if it just boots somebody out of their house. One of these has got to have a slot available now. Alright, we'll see. Let's see. Nope. Cancel. How about... Okay. We don't want to... I don't want to replace somebody. I want to figure out which home was empty. Okay, I'm back over here. Oh, here we go. Finally, the icons finally showed up. In you go. You got a new roommate. I don't know who was living there, but now you have a home. I guess I could do optimal assignment here. That might not be a bad idea to go back to HQ and do that. Okay. Well, this place, the security or the defense is looking a lot better now all of a sudden for some reason. I guess because we killed off 2 plots, our defense needs went down. That makes sense. Alright, here we have another... So I think I can safely... Anytime I find a power plant, I can upgrade it. And same thing with... I was thinking about this off camera, is I can start... On any 2x2 agricultural plots I have, I should be able to start upgrading them to this guy. So that can make some extra... Make some extra stuff happen for us. Where is the... That must be this one. Okay. Let's upgrade you to an advanced. We don't need more power right now, but we might as well. I mean, we'll get a little bit extra power just because the advanced level 1 is going to be just a little bit better than the level 3 basic. Interior plots cover floor snap points. Oh, that's right. That's one of the reasons because we experimented with adding like additional snap points onto the interior plots so that you could then snap things to them, and it just made things worse. So we rolled back that change. That's why I hate interior plots. I'm not going to get rid of them. I know a lot of folks love them, despite their irritations, but they are nice for what they do. Like that they can go inside of buildings, and you can kind of customize what you do with them, whereas the rest of the plots kind of feel like they've got to be outside. But it's the snap point system just does not really want them to exist. Alright, I'm going to let that thing build. Keep touring around. Come on, you can do it. There we go. This thing feels like it should have built by now. I wonder if we've got a funky model in the build stage or if somebody's just starting now. Let's see. Might have another bug to add to the list here. Okay, industrial foundation plot. We're gonna do SV stage. Well, what stage are we on? Some more live bug fixing. I know some folks were a fan of that last week. Current stage is 2. Queued stage is 3. So this looks correct so far, but we need to look at is stage model. Brewery stuck on stage 2. So if you ever find a plot gets like stuck randomly mid-build, it usually means that one of the things it's trying to spawn is missing the model file, and that causes the game to just kind of give up on working forward with it, or moving forward with it. So, but sometimes refresh will fix it. So let's give that a go. Should do the water before the farms. Did I unlock advanced water? I don't remember. Good one way to find out over here. Because yeah, you're right. I should do water. You're right. I should do water before food. Let's see here. So this looks like basic water. Level 3. Do we have advanced? I think we have advanced water because we did the ventilator quest. Good point. Indeed. All right, let's get that thing going. All right, Sheffield, bring us on upgrade. That never gets old. So for those of you guys who played Conqueror, you remember the wall busters. So what I think I want to try and do, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, for the SS2 equivalent of that, because obviously the wall busters came from Raider quest line, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, the brewery just seems stuck. Doesn't make a lot of sense from ours to just put those in as is. I think I want to try and arrange so that any explosive will do it. So you can just basically like, if you want to just have fun in your settlement, like run around with a mini nuke launcher or a missile launcher and blow up buildings. I think that would just be fun. I will probably, if I do it and get it working, I'll probably just spend an hour on camera blowing up my settlements and then reload the save, because that sounds like a lot of fun. It's like dropping tornadoes in your SimCity settlements, or your SimCities. Oof. Oof. No good. No good. Alright, we gotta do some readjusting here. I do not like this at all. Alright, let's do this guy over here. Alright, it's blocking the door and it looks extra awful. Okay, we're gonna shift here. There we go, and now we should be able to flip this guy around and deal with some snap point fun. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Oh, had it for a second. There it is. There we go. Much better. Hopefully the entrance stays there on that same side. I think it does. We got one over here, right? Yeah, the entrance is always on the right, so we're good there. Cool. This is a real bummer that the brewery is stuck. Means no one can experience the brewery right now. That makes me very sad. Because Monty Python is a great character. Okay. We got another farmer slot too over there, I see. There we go. Waiting for me to fall down there. Okay, so we've got that built. The brewery is stuck, which sucks. Our water plant. Let's see if that's done upgrading. Hey, here we go. Cool. How much water does that give us? So that gives us... Wait a second. Wasn't that less? I guess I didn't pay attention how much water was there before. 56. Wasn't the other one like 80? Am I wrong, or am I thinking of the power? Do we have another balance issue here? Does the advanced produce less water than the basic? Or am I just misremembering how much it created? But anyway, let's go over to... we'll go to Sanctuary and we can check out how much water that's producing. Because I totally forgot about this, that I should be running around upgrading all of my plots to the next stage since we're not using the settler requirements. Nobody is assigned to the brewery? Oh. Well, let's go. We'll double back and fix that in a second. I just want to go check what the water amount is. That's weird that it started building then. Oh, there's our guys. Let's see. Can I still? Okay, I can't. Can I still command them? Move. Let's try and send them to Starlight. Let's see what happens. I think I might have accidentally turned these guys into settlers when I messed with them last time. Go to Starlight, guys. Okay, let's see here. Here's our water. Oh, no one's assigned to water. So, alright, well, we can shut down... Let's shut down the weapon store. I hate to scrap a level 3 plot, but... we'll just do a reassignment. Track occupants. Track... Did that not work? Track occupants. Oh, is this... Oh, there it goes. I was like, does this not have anybody? Oh, it is... who is this guy? Just random settler. Okay. Alright, you're going to be on water duty now. We need that way more than we need a weapon store.
Another day of hard work. It never changes.
On track. Alright, let's go upgrade this guy. Oh yeah, we were going to check. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Yeah, cancel trade in progress. We're going to see how much water this was producing. So this is producing 45. Okay, cool. It was an upgrade. All right. Because I remember that was one of the things, that was some of the feedback we got when we were in the phase of doing the balance overhaul before Chapter 2 came out. And I remember fixing that. Okay, so that's going to go to advanced. This thing is still not upgraded. Hey, but see, this thing's got, these ones got smog. It's just the level, well, this must be level 2, so it looks like the level 3's just lost their big smog pipe, which is a bummer. guessing it got destroyed in the port. So the coal plant, the level 3, is actually from Industrial Revolution, which was for SS1. Oh, is this thing upgrading right now? Looks like it is. So it was a port from there, and we didn't actually have levels for the Industrial Revolution building plans, so we had to go back and make some new designs for some of these, and we didn't do it for a lot of them. In fact, it's usually the ones that we locked behind the Mark 1 beacon. Most of those buildings just don't have alternate level designs. They look the same at every level, and that's why they came from Industrial Revolution, and we didn't have level designs for them. And it's a good thing we didn't add them in, because we're now like struggling with space issues, which I would not have predicted when we were working on SS2 originally. I would not have realized that at this stage we were going to be scrambling to delete files so that we could possibly fix this story on it, fit the story on Xbox. It's been a big shock. What do we got down here? Is this sanitation? Yeah, definitely. Got the Nightingale mask up there. Cool. Our sanitation's probably still shot here though. Like I don't think we have a good cleanliness score. Hey, look, we got some steel. We'll take it. Hey, I like seeing those full meters. That's a rarity. Although we have so much industrial here that the cleanliness, it almost seems like if our sanitation is that bad, like it would require a ton to fix it. I kind of want to just like say forget it. Oh, well, they took care of that for me. They unassigned. That is why I was like, we should just get rid of it, because there's no way we're going to compete with it until we get rid of some of this industrial and start spreading it around a little bit. Need to move some of that industrial to another town. We got a lot of empty spaces here since I gutted this place of people for HQ. Okay, so we should be getting a little more water out of this. Our farm is doing okay, 43. Yeah, that's gonna be another reason why I should keep upgrading the. I should go upgrade the farms as well, is because we want to get to the high tech on all this stuff. So I just need to go upgrade these, if nothing else, just to eventually trigger.
I'm Pete. Some folks call me the butcher because I'm good at chopping up food, and because of this song on the radio.
Thanks, Pete. But yeah, I want to get those to trigger, so let's go to I think Abernathy's got a mix of 3x3 2. I know Starlight's got 2x2 agricultural, but I kept pulling everybody off of them to go work on our power plants when we were kind of in that mode. Oscar is the person that plays as a Minuteman with full artillery support from 5 M114 155mm howitzer. I don't think it'd be a good idea to allow plots to be blown up by random explosions. I'm sure it'll be, you know, like almost everything in SS, I'll make it a optional system. I just think it would be a lot of fun to go run around blowing up buildings. Like at the time when we did it with Conqueror, I didn't know how to do it with weapon damage, but I've since learned a lot, so I think I could pull it off with weapon damage, which would be really fun. Look at these guys, are still just following me. Everywhere I go, they teleport with me. I may have to disable them, or we might run into some problems later. Okay, we got a couple of 3x3 farms. This is already an advanced water. How are our meters looking here? Oh, is this a new settler that's just arriving? Or is it? No, that's Trash Can Carla. You guys are short on power. Okay. Oh, I got a. Let's see here. I was gonna say I got an idea. I'll build them a power transfer if I don't already have one here, and then they can take some power off the grid, because we actually have way more than we need right now. Let's see here. Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna change one of these over. Where do we want to put it? I guess we'll put it over by our power plant here. They're so sad they can't upgrade. Why is happiness so bad here? Everything's pretty bad here. Look at these scores. We need. Wait, says the bed thing. Yeah, I think you're right. Deep dive is that there's something funky with the bed thing on the meter at least. Okay, let's build them a municipal plot. Oh, we still got snapping off. Whoa. What happened there? There we go. Nope, I had it back on. So it just doesn't want to snap right here. Okay. Well, we'll just get it in there and then... Alright, let's get ourselves power transfer. Now I don't, and then we'll, I guess we'll bounce back over to Sunshine next and check on the brewery if it's just a matter of I gotta find somebody to assign. What are you guys all doing? Oh, I guess they're probably all going to bed. It's pretty late at night. Alright, off to Sunshine again. And did we get a person? I could have sworn we had 20 when I was there last. Zuzer's Corner. Yeah, you need an upgrade in HQ to connect Far Harbor Settlements to your Boston one. It's Interworld Space. I don't remember what it's called. Like Caravan Expeditions, I think is what it's called. It's in the logistics department's upgrades. So funny seeing these guys just reappear with me every time. It's very weird bug. Okay, brewery. Let's go see. Is someone assigned? Oh, look, it made it a little further. So maybe someone got assigned while I was away? Plot's finishing operation. Try again. So yeah, maybe that was it. And then this 21st person that showed up ended up building it. That works out nicely. All right, let's look at the Brewer's Guide. So this is actually the Monty Phylon we actually planted in Industrial Revolution. I think we did it. I think we added this in the. I'm trying to remember what update we did this in. Probably in the Great Big R&D update. And I knew Monty Phylon was like on the docket to be produced for the future expansion. So I think we decided to go back and take all the recipes and add in all these notes from Monty Phylon. So they've actually been in here since the get-go. And then I think we touched them up a little bit after we got all of the dialogue written. Something like that. I can't remember exactly how it went down. But yeah, this was a fun one to add in. Oh no, we patched in the brewery. I remember that was just like a random patch. It came out, like we put it out around when Oktoberfest had started one year. That's right. Oh, exit. There we go. So, let's see. Do I have the stuff to start a brew? Yes, we do. Okay, we'll start with... What do we got the most of? We'll start with the potato mash. And we'll go ahead and put that in the boiler. Add something for bitterness. How about some Psycho? Something for flavor. Nuka-Cola, please. For aroma. What's going to smell nice? A blood pack. And a little something extra to top it off. How about... Oh, Jet, of course. Brewmaster will move it to a fermentation tank tomorrow and you can brew another batch. Okay. Yeah. Port should be ready in about 24 hours. There we go. So now you'll find, once the Brewmaster shows up, he gives you actual recipes so you don't just have to guess. Like, at the beginning, it's just kind of like you just throw stuff in and hope for the best because you know nothing about brewing. And then eventually the Brewmaster shows up and he will give you the specific recipes. In SS1, the recipes were like half of them you just had to kind of stumble across by guessing, and then the other half were scattered around the world and you could find them in places. And there'd usually be next to them a beer, like one of the, I don't remember if it was, I think it was like a special beer for the Brewmaster. I don't remember. But although the beers in this, like, we went really way into it. Like, there's the brewing system is pretty elaborate, and there's even custom labels for all the different beers that you can create. Let me guess, are you guys fighting the 4 Commonwealth men again?
Bring Adam's fire to my side.
I think it might be time to disable Terry and JoJo and George. Sorry, guys. Your show is canceled. Alright, where's the last guy? Poor guys. All they did was get teleported around to some goofy Bethesda bug. Okay, so now, in theory, Monty Phylon should be available to unlock. So, let's head to the Ron and find out. We might be able to get him to trigger immediately. I mean, like, I don't need to waste the caps. If I just waited a couple days, he would just show up, but I'm just curious if the Ron suddenly has a new person available. The brewery actually unlocks as soon as you get to the production class. It's one of the defaults that comes with it. So you get that.
Poking around that abandoned house. I'm gonna assume McDonough gave you permission and leave it at that.
Thanks, buddy. If you go to, or if you just build a lot of industrial, eventually you will trigger an unlock for the production class. And then brewery is one of the first building plans that unlocks with that.
Don't worry, you're safe from
I think it's like, when you, I'm trying to remember which ones you get. I think you get brewery, distillery, and newspaper by default, because those are the 3 that we put the most effort into. We might have done magazine printer too for the same reason, because all 4 of those have like a ton of additional content inside, like once you get to them, whereas the rest of the building plans are kind of just producers. They just produce arbitrary items. But we wanted the ones that, you know, our artists and writers put a lot of effort into to make sure that those everybody could see without having to roll the dice with the Mark 1 beacon system. Hey, Ron. Oh, good idea. Drink some coffee.
Oh, yeah. It's business time.
Any idea where I can find someone?
Looking for talent, are we? What kind of attributes you in the market for?
I'm looking for someone.
I actually don't remember what his would be, so we'll just try them all.
Sorry, but the...
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's try it again.
Hey there.
Welcome to the Ron's Information Emporium.
Any idea where I can find someone?
Looking for talent, are we? What kind of attribute?
I'm looking for someone.
tough.
Sorry, but...
Nope.
Hey, good to see you again, cool cat. Here to buy or here to sell?
Any idea where I can find someone?
Looking for talent.
I'm looking for some. Strong.
Say
hey,
no
there we
more.
go.
This is who you're looking for. Come back again. Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Who do we got? Who do we got? Yep. There's that's got to be Monty. Awesome. Would not have guessed strength for his major stat. Off we go. Quester WI, I have your caravanneer plot at Grey Garden and at Oberland Station. And the one at Grey Garden says there is no settlement with a caravan close by. What does your one at the other place say? Like, does it have any issues? Like, is your person maybe incapacitated or something? Yeah, Mod Hunter, we actually had that. We wanted that to do that too, but the only way we could do it is through dialogue. We wouldn't be able to do it through the barter system without a vanilla edit. And then that would have just required a new dialogue tree just to sell folders. So we ended up cutting that plan. We actually were going to have him buy like all sorts of random junk. I might have a way. I think we've had this discussion before. I think I might have a way to pull it off now that I've learned some more about the perk system, but it would be a pretty low priority thing. There's our guy. Uh-oh, are you missing voice files, buddy? Hey.
Greetings, my good fellow. I am Monty Phylon, Brewmaster of the Commonwealth. And you are my apt pupil in the wonderful world of brewing beer.
Let's say I am.
Oh, let's say you are. Because you have brewed such beers as Boston Brown Ale, Gold Brahmin Lager, and the Grogna Grog. This means that I have heard tell of your adventures in achieving such heights of hopes. Thus, I have come to take my place as your brewmaster.
Sure.
That's great news.
First things first, I'll need a house fit for a brewmaster. Once we have that, then we can discuss the furtherment of your education, so you may perfect your brewing skills.
Do I look like a carpenter?
Do I look like a carpenter to you?
Do you want a brewmaster or not? I mean, I come here offering to take your brewery to legendary levels, make you rich, and treat you as an eventual equal. And you ask me if I think you look like a carpenter. Nay, you look like a person that has carpenters. So, do we have a deal?
I don't know if anybody recognizes the voice, but that is the same voice as One-Eyed Willie in Conqueror. That is Kobus, our voice worker. I think he's declared he won't do the Monty Python voice anymore. I think it was I don't know if he found it too silly or it was too much of a stretch. I don't know. Maybe he's on. He can answer. Caravan plots have never worked for you, Canuck? That's weird. Like, I know they were definitely went through some like ups and downs where there were some weird bugs that would crop up, but I'm pretty confident in them in the code now. We did a lot of overhauling of that for the HQ 2.0 update because we added the interworld space thing, the caravan expeditions I was talking about earlier, and also a thing to increase the range. So it was pretty important we had the code working. Otherwise, doing those upgrades would have caused a nightmare.
All right, deal.
Splendid. So pleased that we could reach such a meritorious agreement.
He's still in, James. James Roden, the levitating brewmaster thing, that's still in. If you're talking, I assume you're talking about the falling man. That's still in there. I think it requires you to have it has some sort of requirement, I think now, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it just happens anyway. Even if you don't have the requirements, it can just happen if you happen to go over there. I'll go over there and trigger it if I can remember where exactly it is. It's by some big building downtown. I just don't remember what one. But it's still there. I've had people report to me that it happens to them over and over again, and I couldn't find anything in the code that was obvious for that. All right, well, he's got to just come here. Well, let's build a residential plot for money. I don't know if you guys saw this. We got a custom Vault Boy icon for all of our side quests now, which is pretty awesome. Ruined World knocked it out of the park on that. Okay, let's get this guy a house. I thought he had a custom skin, but we would have triggered an unlock if that were the case. So, let's find him a bed here. Is there anybody he can shack up with? Actually, I wouldn't be shocked if he already... Let's see, what's our quest objective, though? It might be something like we have to build him a new house to trigger it. Yeah, build a residential plot. Okay, we have to build him his own. No problem. Actually, I think I have an extra one somewhere. Maybe I can just scrap it and rebuild it, and that'll count. Oh, I was thinking of Sanctuary. Sanctuary, we have like at least one extra one I just built out there, and it's still sitting there. Okay, so I think in this house there's just a couple of beds, so we can just make some room. We can make some room in here. He can bunk up with these guys. Oh, let's put Surface Net back on. There we go. Hopefully he'll accept an interior. I actually don't remember. Let's see if that works. And if I have to manually assign him or not. If that doesn't work, that needs to be fixed. But let's try assigning it to him. Because it could be something like it has to be, if it's supposed to be a 2x2 and that's the only thing that triggers it, I need to update the quest objective because I don't like ambiguous things like that in the quest objectives. Alright, let's see if that'll count. Well, definitely took the assignment and started constructing it. Not updating the objective though. Alright, let's try a 2x2. I could see that being the case. Could be one of those ones where I just failed to put the objective clearly. Though to be fair, at the time when Monty Phylon's quest was created, we probably didn't have anything but 2x2. Because we actually made that quest quite a long time ago. Alright. Let's see if that works. Where'd you go, Monty? Let's try assigning you to this now.
Hamlet Act 3, Scene 1. The one where he says yes.
Alright, let's see here. Build residential plot. Okay, well we've built him 2 now. Not interested in that one? I guess we should be a little patient. It's got a lot of, and actually I should make sure it's a multi too. Doesn't say I have to make him live by himself. Oh, there goes the construction. Multi-person. Anyone will work. Alright, we'll let it build at least and see if that's enough to, yes, keep that option. See if that's enough to trigger it. The crossed out flag, that's, I don't know if that's new. It might have been like, so we actually, this armor that I'm wearing, yeah, pan build. This armor that I'm wearing came from the gunner overhaul, outfit overhaul mod. He opened it up to, like, at some point when we were in development, we asked him for permission to use a couple, and he was enthusiastically yes, and then eventually he just opened permission to all of the outfits. And so this came from that, and it might have been that at some point that got hidden for some reason, and then when Beeb started fixing the outfits, maybe it got revealed. I don't know. Or maybe it's always been there and I just don't remember either. But I think you're right. I don't think it was always there, because I remember when I was testing the patch off camera today, I was like, oh, that my outfit's working, but I don't remember that crossed out flag. And then I was second guessing myself to be like, oh, maybe it was there, and I just never really look at myself in third person. But if you're saying it feels new too, then probably is. Cannot gate to heavily modded game. All are working. I'll just say none nearby. Gave up and used God mode in HQ. Oh. Let me check my caravan. Does it say none nearby? Like, what's more important than the none nearby thing is, do they connect? Yes, he just says operational, so I don't know what could be conflicting, but alright, hoping this works. I think either way I want to update the objectives so that it says something like, if this works, I want it to change the objective to say, like, build them one, and then the second one will say, like, wait for the plot to finish building or something like that. There we go. Nice and simple. Okay, so I do need to update that. So let me put that on my notes. So, update. Objectives for Monty. Okay, so now I'm trying to remember. Yeah, okay, there it goes. I would say there should be give Monty time to settle in. Much brew or nothing. So now this will start a little timer, and then I think in a couple days it'll have me come back. You're the brewer? No, Monty's got to be the brewer. Sorry, Charles. You can go do anything else. But I appreciate that you, fellow brotherhood, are into the beer. Alright, let's take you and move you over to the farm. That should just have an opening now that Monty's getting reassigned. This one. Actually, I guess it makes more sense for me to get more defense here since I'm still short. Is anything waiting to upgrade that needs defense? Because I don't think so. Yeah, our agility training does. This house does. Nothing important. Well, I guess, let me see. This is going to need it when it's ready to upgrade. So yeah, let's get another, let's put him on another defense plot. Where are we going to put one though? Well, let's see. How about in the back? We don't have any defense back here. we go. All right, where's Chuck? Come here, buddy. Is he still hanging out in the brewery? Yeah. Interesting that he won't walk out. I literally just, I think that's one of the patch notes is that I fixed the nav mesh in the brewery, but I wonder if, so there's a thing we have to do. I'm going to put this on the list. There's a thing we have to do special to the models for plots in order for people to be able to walk in and out of them, and it's possible I didn't do it on there, so check. Brewery nav mesh. Okay, alright, let's move him over to here.
Yes?
And that was enough time passed for me to do another brew. Fort should be ready in 7 hours. Okay. Alright, off to the map. Okay, so we gotta wait for Monty still. What do we want to do here next? I guess looking for people. What is this? Find the brewing machine. That's right, I never did that. Nordhagen. Never did the West Everett Estates quest yet. Looking for numbers that look like they went up, because I just want more people to steal for my HQ. Alright, let's go check out Starlight. I think they have a bunch of 2x2 farms. We can upgrade those to the advanced ones. Start working our way toward high-tech farms. The high-tech farm model that Ono built is crazy. I really want to get... Actually, I want to build it also because I think... for any of you guys who've seen the high-tech farm, at level 3, it's supposed to have a working elevator, and at one point during development it did. Then it got broke during alpha. Then I fixed it again. Then it got broken again, and I don't know if I ever fixed it again after release because I just didn't understand why it had broken. Like the first time I figured it out, and then the second time I couldn't figure it out, and I gave up at the time. But having a working elevator on a plot is just fun. Okay, let's see which of these. Well, that one probably has somebody working on it since the guy's standing over there. Okay, so we can upgrade that one and this one. All right, let's go to advanced farms. And one of the downsides of going to the advanced farms is they do require more water. Oh, I should get rid of those. So in a lot of these buildings, I guess I can keep them. I would say a lot of these buildings we have these confirmation messages. Well, it's not really necessary. Oh, that's another thing I need to get rid of. Look at this. Look at how silly that looks. The destruction works even on these dirt piles, and it should not. I need to fix that. Remove. Yeah, pay and build. Remove destruction from Agra buildings. Dartmouth Professional Building. That's right. Thank you. Okay, so we got to go to Dartmouth Professional shortly here. First, let's get upgrading all our buildings.
Hope you ain't one of them synths here to spy on me.
Does anyone put on a show? Oh, we got the... Is this the level 3? No, this is level 2 still.
If you work, you eat. It's as simple as...
Sorry, buddy. I had to delete your friends, and I'm going to have to delete you too now. The 4 Commonwealth men are broken in my save, apparently.
Huh? Huh?
Everyone's sitting down for a show, so it looks like something's about to start here. Oh, do you need a disease cure better, buddy? Nope. He's got
This little medley is brought to you by a selection of businesses.
Oh, here we go.
Around the wealth. Make sure to crawl out and try their great services.
The mic's this way, lady. Oh, there she goes.
Crawl out to the drumlin, baby. when you travel along. Crawl out to the drumlin with the prices that can't be wrong. When your chem count's getting low, hurry, don't delay. See Wolfgang, he's got you chems all night and day. Crawl out to the drumlin, baby, to their welcome arms. Through the wind from radiant glowing seas. Think about your Kenzo when you're at near zero, and go trading with the best there could be.
So one of the things I want to do with Cindy here, the singer who did this for us actually took a lot of time with it and rewrote it and made sure it followed the melody. But because of the way the Fallout 4 dialogue system works, it doesn't sync up correctly with the music. And the way they got around this with Magnolia is they did one sound file. So basically did the whole giant sound file, but it's huge. It's a massive file. So we're like, oh, we can't have that big a file because of Xbox and everything. So we broke it into lines, and so now her singing doesn't match up to the music, which is such a bummer. But I could do that as an extended thing of like take the original cut the singer did to the music and put that in because it sounds so good. And then so to cover up the fact that the words and music don't match up, we use like this really tinny, awful version of the song so that it just seems like the music, it's hard to tell where in the song the music is anyway. I believe she does react to Wolfgang. I think whoever you side with, her songs are dynamic, so like her songs each are branching. They have different paths. That's the reason we couldn't do it too. Not just because of the giant file. It was because we would need a giant file for every path through the song.
Why can't you sing the old ones no more?
If anyone would like their own business, gang, or product to feature in a promo song, see me after for a post-gig special price.
Okay, so now we get a little, if we go talk to her, we can actually hire her to do a song for us. Let's see here.
Hi.
Hi there. Hey, you're the Vault Dweller, like off the radio. I've heard such great things about you in all those settlements. I bet you and your people would get a kick out of having your own song. Get more folks wanting to settle down, or come spend their caps with you. Or I could big up your traders. It would be a great investment. You could just sit back and watch the caps roll in. So, are you interested in joining my many other satisfied customers and being advertised in one of my famous promo songs?
I'm listening.
What I am going to do for you is craft and perform a specialized song that will project to the world just what you want them to hear about you. All you need to do is answer just a couple questions and pay me 100 caps, and then sit back and bask in the results. Shall we begin?
That works for me.
So, what are we calling you? We should stick with the Vault Dweller. Thanks to the radio, everyone knows you by that. It's great branding. Links all your exploits together. Everyone will know your name. Yeah, that's a good line. I should use that. Now, what am I focusing on? You want me to help you recruit more troops? Or get more folks to visit your settlements and spend their caps?
Well, we want recruitment, of course. Now, I don't remember if this actually has a mechanical benefit or not right now. I think it's one of those things that's like there's a big to-do in the script for her to do this. So I'm going to assume one day I'm going to get back and do that. So I'm going to promote recruiting.
Use a new recruit.
Great. Now, what are we telling your budding recruits to expect? How do you plan on employing them? What's your organization's reason for being?
So if you guys haven't caught, like with her dialogue, she's talking about troops and stuff, and now these options. This was actually written for Conqueror, and we just only ever got to develop when we did SS2. So a lot of it like makes more sense when you consider the fact that in Conqueror you were building an army, and for most players playing as a raider, so then it would make a little more sense. But We're gonna go with protect.
I want to help people.
Gotcha. You're recruiting valiant soldiers to liberate the Commonwealth from the vile forces who would enslave its people. I can work with that. So I'll just make some tweaks to the Wanderer lyrics. It's a great ad vehicle. Positive, catchy. The punters love it, and we'll be humming it all day. We'll start by reinforcing your identity. Your rep is our greatest asset here. Hook them up with your offering, back to you, then more targeting goals.
Really?
Then hit them with some channeling awareness of the fantastic opportunities for goal acquisition that you're offering.
I think I understand.
Repeat to ensure the message has had its full impression on our audience. Then we get them to associate themselves with you and your operation. So, what do you think?
Hell yeah.
Great. Great. Oh, there's a slot free on stage. I'll go and give it a go. I've got a great feeling about this one. You won't regret your patronage.
Now, I think the whether she actually does go immediately up and sing depends on if there's another show queued up or not, which there probably is, because it. But yeah, so that's the Cindy Reckon thing. She actually will, depending on what you choose. It changes the song she'll sing. So like if you choose the Blood, Bullets, and Money, she'll sing the song a little bit differently. Like there's a few lines in the song that changes time. Let's see if she's actually gonna go up and do it. No, I don't think so. I think she just gets put back in the queue, and the next time she sings, she should sing our version of the song. So there we go. Didn't expect to see her today. Okay, now I'm gonna remember what I was doing. We were upgrading farms. Oh, look at all these guys.
My back hurts. My feet hurt. Everything hurts.
Good, you got a curable one. What about you, buddy? Nope. Is this mole rat disease still? Or we just have that spreading everywhere? Like an epidemic throughout our settlements. Yep, mole rat disease going wild. Oh, I think he had something else too. What was that? I think a second one. Yeah, chicken pox too. Mole rat disease and chicken pox. Alright, here's our other one. Let's see if anybody's actually working this. Unoccupied, okay. Alright, so we've upgraded the ones. Well, I guess I could just do it in advance. Won't hurt anything. Do that for all of them, actually. So choose building plan. Advanced farm. Yeah, sure. Take that option.
Yes.
And how about you? Yep. Pie, okay. There we go. So again, another thing for SS1 players, if you haven't noticed it, this was in SS1 with Industrial Revolution. If you went down the right tech tree with it, you could get unlocked level 4 farms, and so we had this level 4 model laying around, so we used that as our level 1 of advanced. I hope other add-on pack authors did the same and didn't let their level 4s go to waste. Kaz Daddy, would it work if you put the music in the voice lines? Well, it's the same issue with the like syncing it up of like, even if the song, like what if the little clip of the song, then the song would be broken, the music would be broken. So it was basically like the only way we were going to be able to do it the same way they did Magnolia was we would need like 15 copies of the song as WAV files, and a WAV file is 25-30 megs, so it would have just been like 150 megs of file space for that, and it was hard to justify that. Impossible for Xbox. I could see putting it in extended, but of course then I would have to Retox, one of our sound engineers who worked on that project, to actually go spend the time and generate and stitch all those together too. So we'll see. Because it is a bummer that her performance gets kind of screwy. Like it's just it's not impressive as is right now because of the bad music and the fact that it's not synced to the music, even though the singer did a great job. I don't like that at all. Okay, we're gonna move this guy down here. It's not being used anyway. There we go. That looks a little more reasonable. Okay, I think we're done here. An old Starlight. Where to next? And none of those look like they've grown. How about Jamaica Plain? Nope, still at 11. All right, let's go back to HQ. I haven't been there in a while. Well, since the top of the episode. I guess I should have done a save before I fast traveled in. Been a minute. Oh, maybe this is the issue we've been waiting for to occur in our testing to see if we get some sort of, because this feels like a long save. Nice auto save before you fast travel. Fingers crossed we get no crash. That's the most important part. Nick Carter, my city planner's desk has not had the option to force upgrade a city plan in a while, despite having the up arrow and enough resources, etc. If you check, yeah, that was definitely a long save. It was not that bad though. Like the long saves, I'm sure you guys remember, would be like several minutes, and it was nightmare fuel. If you, Nick, if you turn on, hopefully you're on PC. If you turn on Papyrus debugging, which let me find a link for you. If you don't already have this, there's actually a log that will tell you exactly what's going on, and if you could take a look at that and for the city plan stuff, I'll tell you where it is, because that would be helpful to find out if it's a bug or if it's just something I need to change in the HUD. Like maybe there's another requirement that needs to be displayed before the upgrade icon appears. Enable Papyrus logging Fallout 4. Alright, here is a link for you. Where's chat? Where did I go? I lost chat. There it is. So, Nick Carter, this is free. This link is for you. Go enable that debug logging, and then there will be a log. Let me find it here. User. So it'll be, no, not in GitHub. We want documents, my games, Fallout 4, logs, script, user, and it should be called SS2 City Plan Manager. So if you find this file after you enable logging, and then just like sleep a couple times, and you'll get this in here, and you'll see all these information will be dumping out of here, and you'll see can't upgrade and like not enough people. So if you just look for these can't upgrade lines, the tough part is figuring out which settlement is which, and to do that, you just go to your settlement workbench. So whatever settlement that you think should upgrade that has the arrow, go click on its workbench in console. Like, you know, do this, and the little number there, so like when I click on the player, it's 14. So there'll be an ID number, and that's the number you're going to look for in the log, and that way you can figure out specifically why, and if you can tell me that reason, we can try and get to the bottom of it. Okay. So now we're at 40 people here.
Storm's coming.
Not with Workshop Plus, there's no storms allowed. Okay, let's see. We got to do some actually, I'm curious if my food and water has improved at all. Let's go to science. Because I feel like if I don't have more water now, if we still only had, what, I think we had 17 before, then we've got a HQ bug, for sure. Power, 50. Okay, it's not power. Okay, good. Look at that. Food, 50 now. We had way less than that before. Water is down, though. Water's worse. So that's not right. Let's try exiting and see if it needs a second to catch up. Could be that, too. Give it a moment. Also could be I just don't have the logistics. I might not have the logistics connected to the right settlements either. Which we could do a couple more supply agreements.
Has a certain splendor about it.
Yeah, on this floor. Go to the office level, buddy. It's a disaster down there. Okay, water is still only 2. That's weird. Food went up. Okay, I'm gonna put this on my list to research. Investigate. I'll have to deep dive in the logs to figure out what's going on. Investigate water in HQ. Okay, on my list. Okay, well, we can't do that right now, so let's go build some other stuff while we're here. Where do we need jobs still? We got plenty of slots left in engineering, 4 left in security. I guess logistics could use another one. Let's get some of those. Oh, we can actually build the hazmat supply closet. We did set up the, we cleaned the room, then we didn't build it. Do we want a cafeteria? I think it's that or a dining hall, and we have way more admin slots. Oh yeah, let's build the vending machines too. Why not? I think we already have a cafeteria there. I think I was going to do the quiet dining hall. Let me go check. I guess not though, because I wouldn't have. I must have selected cafeteria and the thing. So I guess we're gonna just have like the kitchen and then a cafeteria right in front of it. That's fine, I guess. Just a big kitchen. We got a lot of folks, a lot of hungry folks here. All right, let's see. Trying to see if we need anything in particular right now. Let's bring up our full details here. Okay, so our scrap is actually limited by HQ, which means we could use some more. We can use another supply agreement, which will mean we'll need another logistics person. Oh, we got enough. No, we should be good. Okay, let's do a supply agreement. Logistics. Oh, and let me find that. Also find that thing we were talking about earlier. It's under plan. There is caravan expeditions, which is will let you connect your Commonwealth and Far Harbor and also Nuka World. And then this one, the long range caravans, will let you double the connection. So this one's mostly there for people who are kind of RPing, where you're just like, I only want to have these specific settlements in my empire, and I don't necessarily care about creating like a chain of them. So like we've already got all of ours connected, so we really don't need that. Okay, let's do. Okay, we can't do this because of the water problem, but we can do the supply agreement. All right, who don't we have a supply agreement with yet? County Crossing, Oberland, Red Rocket, Jamaica Plain, Somerville, Hangman's Alley. So Red Rocket's got nothing, so that would be stupid. County Crossing, we haven't done much in there. Oberland we've been tinkering with a bit, but it's pretty tiny. County Crossing I think makes the most sense because actually there's room I could actually build some resources there. Or Somerville Place. Yeah, probably Somerville Place. That's probably the biggest of those. So we'll do that. And now this should improve our HQ max in the scrap row there. I'm curious if I have the HUD set up to update in real time. I want to kind of hang out in command mode here just to see. Water is short because food is up, using more water. Yeah, it could be. I still feels weird. Like the numbers don't feel right. And if I'm having this trouble, then you guys are, plenty of other people are having it worse, right? Like, if the creator can't understand, isn't sure what's going on, then no one else should be expected to. So that to me is a problem in itself. Yeah, it looks like HQ Max just updated on HUD while we had it displayed. Cool. So like, even if my numbers are correct, it still needs to be made clear is what I think the case is, what we're learning here. I need something on the HUD to show definitively like what's going on. Like the easiest thing to do would be on the supply agreements HUD there on the right while you're in HQ is just add the food and water that are available. Like I could do that. It would be real easy. And at least then you have the information available without wondering, which is where I'm at right now. Like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to go dig into some logs and see what's going on, but that's stupid. Let's just put it on the HUD. Okay, let's do some more building. Oh, did we get our security cameras? Yes, we did. We got this awesome security camera model. It came out really good. In fact, some of them I think are animated. I think Sebo animated a couple of them. Let me see if I can find some of those. Oh, I wonder if the animated ones aren't set up correctly. Because I remember we had some like up on these ledges up here, but I don't see them right now. Oh, there's one. Maybe we don't have the animated ones in right now. But we had some that would like pace back and forth. The other thing I want to do with the security cameras at some point, if you guys have played with the settlement defense kit, that it lets you like activate a security camera console and like see the views of those, I absolutely can do that. Like I really want to do that and make it so that it'll basically let you see from the viewpoint of each camera. Like that would be such a like flavorful addition. And it had no purpose whatsoever. It was just flavorful, fun. To bounce around, especially if we put cameras on the other floors, which I think we do. I'm actually curious about that if we put cameras on the other floors. But it'd be fun to like zap around from the cameras and kind of see what everybody's doing. I kind of want to throw in an Easter egg with that too. Like you do that, and you go to some arbitrary camera, and we have like 2 HQ workers making out or something. Like you're just like catching something unexpected. I think that'd be a pretty fun gag to slip in there.
Second floor.
All right, let's go check the ops level. I want to see if we got security cameras in other floors. I can't remember if we did. I feel like I did, because I placed a lot of those myself. Does Sims 2 work with the Commonwealth responders? I don't see why it wouldn't. I don't know anything about that mod, though, so I can't say for certain.
This is a Science Department Health Bulletin.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any cameras here, but...
Originating from Long Neck Lukovsky Cannery. It should instead be handed in for safe disposal.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any cameras. I feel like if I had to put any on this floor, I would have put them like near the elevator, and there's none over here. So I should do that though. I should go back and add them in. That or they're just not working correctly. It could be that as well. Sometimes the interfloor stuff is a little quirky.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Lily. Okay, what else can we build here? Let's get some more stuff going. Construction. Chem lab, robotics lab, weapons lab. Yeah, let's get this thing built. I think I was going to do this last time. I didn't have enough people. Now I do. So let's get that going. Now we can finally do our weapon upgrades. We don't really need more security. I guess we could build more security just because it's fun to have. Oh, we unlocked the fountain. Oh, fantastic. This thing is beautiful. This is like one of the coolest things that Ono designed for the mod. Let me, and actually there's another one I want to show. There's like 2 really cool fountains. Let's see if I can get them both built. Let's go to, where's the other one? Did it get put under admin? Oh, I can build the library. Yeah, let's do that while we're sitting here. I want to, oh, the staff training room we should definitely do. That oh yeah, 100% I need to do that because there's a really cool mechanic with this we can show. Welcoming courtyard, this is what I want to build. Okay, so we have not enough people in admin right now that are free, but as soon as I let all that stuff finish up. Okay, let's go upstairs. Oh, we're getting some cool stuff now. Awesome. Up we go. Actually, we'll go, while we're waiting for that stuff to build, let's go to the basement, because that's actually where the weapon lab is. We can check and see if there any security cameras got put down there. If not, I'm going to add that to my list to add for later. I love that security camera model. I want more of them. Although the basement might have been, we decided not to put any because it was awkward to position them. We were trying to only put them in the common areas and not inside the rooms, because if add-on packs start wanting to do stuff with the rooms, we don't want them to have to fight with the placement of the cameras. So, but there's definitely hallways on the office level, so it would have made sense for them to be down there. Cool, atrium's all done. All right, let's get up to the weapon lab. That should be up here.
Regarding your morale boosting ideas submitted to the
Oh, cool. Some loot. Okay. So, for anybody who hasn't messed with the... Oh, I forgot about the HQ storage. We haven't done this yet either. So the HQ storage... I'll wait till the PA announcement's done. So the HQ storage is basically like any container that's spawned as part of a room. When you activate it, you will be asked to determine what type of storage it's used for. And then you can, any other container you add with that same storage, you'll be able to access it. So if you don't care about grouping your items, like I love grouping my items whenever I build my main home settlement, I tend to go dump my inventory. And you guys don't see it on camera. I've been avoiding it this playthrough because I know inventory management is horrible to watch other people do. But this is something I like to do in my settlements. Usually I'll build like a bunch of containers. I'll build like a canvas bag for my ammo and like a cabinet for my scrap and like a different thing for each type of items. And so you can kind of do that in the system in HQ. And these are actually invisible containers that are kept safe. So if you decide to destroy the room, you don't lose your items. They're just like kind of an invisible thing that matches this. And then right at the entrance to HQ, there's a safe you can activate to get access to any of them. So if for some reason you can't remember which one you stuck your stuff in, you still have access to all of them, regardless of what you've built. So this was a system that I thought was pretty important to having a robust player home, or to treating HQ like a robust player home. So we'll do simple storage right now because I'm not actually going to put anything in there, but just wanted to show you guys that. All right, the other thing I want to show you guys is weapon labs. So weapon labs, this is one of the first things we dreamed up for HQ when we were in the planning phases of like, what's something cool we could do with having a staff. And it was like, well, why is it that the player needs to do their own crafting with their own resources, and why do they need to have the perks, right? Like, why can't you just pay some NPC who, you know, has points in blacksmithing or armor or whatever to do that stuff for you? Because why shouldn't they have access to the same type of training that those perks represent? And that's where the lab services come in. So by default, when you go in, if you use the lab services, so first it'll find somebody to work the lab. There we go, and it explains it to you. So HQ labs allow the staff to craft items and upgrade your equipment and spend the settlement virtual resources to do it. So this is a way you can get access to spending them for yourself. So I know that's one of the things that took some adjustment at the early parts of SS2 was like, hey, I'm getting all these resources, but I don't actually get them in my workbench. And you know, we did that for balance reasons. But now this late in the game, it's less of a problem. Like, you're probably so rich. Like, my guy, I have so many caps, I have so many items. And had I been actually looting as much as I wanted to, I held back, believe it or not, from you guys while dungeon crawling. I would be filthy rich and I wouldn't worry about resources. So then it's just like a little bonus. It's just like, oh, cool. Well, now I can make use of them. But the real advantage is less about using the settlement resources and more about the fact that you can do upgrades to HQ now. You can upgrade your labs to bypass the perk requirements so that when your HQ personnel are building for you or upgrading for you, that you can get access to some high tier ones that you didn't want to invest perk points in. So by default, so the way we have this set up, this one is a little bit wonky, some of them are, and we had a lot of trouble with this. This is something I hope to one day go back to and clean up a little bit. So you can see, like, my character's just reading a newspaper. The goal was to have it so, like, you're reading a newspaper or whatever, and the camera is facing the bench and you see an NPC using it, but lining those up ended up being like a nightmare, like trying to sync up these animations with the designers of the rooms. And so it ended up just getting ignored for the most part, and we just kind of, you can see your character, but the camera doesn't always line up. We unfortunately don't have engine level access to make this as dynamic as Bethesda did with the workbenches, but still, functionally it works. So, like, if I build anything or if I upgrade anything here, it will take the resources out of the settlement system and not out of my inventory. So I should have access to build a lot more than I could normally. So let's see here. Now, what I'm curious about, because I haven't played with this in a long time, is how it works when we're using the what do you call it, category mode. So, like, it works, it's very obvious with component complexity how that would work. So let's try upgrading something. So I think I was gonna do this and start upgrading it, but yeah, you can see, like, I have all sorts of crazy resources in my inventory that clearly I didn't have. Like, I don't carry that much junk around with me, like 6,940 adhesive, like, clearly I don't have that, or 907 screws. So yeah, it's definitely giving me the resources from HQ to play with. So we can go ahead and upgrade, and if we do some upgrades to HQ, we'll get access to, like, these science perks and be able to bypass all that. So we're just gonna, I'm not gonna do the perfect one I want, but we'll just grab one that's, what's the best one here? So proved critical, no, we don't care about that, don't care about burning. We'll do, sure, we'll do this one for now. So we build all this, and then we exit out. And let's see, there should be, no, the NPC didn't get teleported here. So usually, apparently it's not working right now. So I'll add this back to my list of things. It would teleport an NPC over here and they'd be the one operating it. So then as soon as you pull out, you would see that they were the one using the bench. So I'll put that on my list to sort out. But the idea behind the thing is basically it's a way for you to bypass perks, which is a pretty big advantage. And I think it makes sense. I think it's immersive and it costs enough where it's not, like, too cheaty, because you have to do a lot of investment in upgrading. Like, if I pop into the upgrades here and I go to engineering, we should suddenly have, if I go to science rooms, should have some upgrades to the medical. So we've got weapon lab, blacksmith 1, demolitionist 1, gun nut 1. So basically they're all named after the perk you would gain. But we also list them as plus X research. And the reason for the naming them the research, that is, we basically we envision the long term with HQ, with add-on packs and our own content we add to it over time, is that there will be like a kind of under the hood tech tree going on, where if you have enough points in particular research types, that'll unlock new research projects. So you'll notice, anybody who followed the HQ update 2.0 update, you'll notice we didn't do anything much with the science department. It kind of stayed as was, because we have, like, this elaborate tech tree idea in mind for the science department, and just had to cut our development time at some point. Like, that's going to be its own mega update in itself at some point, of just like a sprawling thing, tree of things you can upgrade with the science department, and these types of research points will be part of that. So it'll be like, not only do you gain access to the perk, but it'll also get you points toward the research system, which we'll expand upon after we release it. So let's do... So I think energy... Yeah, science 1. Let's do the science since we're working on an energy weapon. Go ahead and upgrade that. And do we have... Oh, I guess we have a lot of resources, so we'll do gun... We'll do a couple of them, sure. Why not? Let's get our weapon lab looking awesome. Oh, interesting. These are... I think that there's a mistake in these costs. They should be having... These should have, like, some science and engineering energy required in them. I'll have to get those on the list to be fixed. And while we're in here, we'll go ahead and build this medical lab break room. Why not? Alright, writing myself some notes now. So... oh, and we're getting the upgrades happening right around us. So more items will appear too. We did some visuals for each of them. Then upgrades don't necessarily visual don't necessarily match what the upgrade is. We just wanted the room to get fleshed out as you add more upgrades to it. So that should be the case for all the labs. You should see as you do the upgrades, not only do you get perk bypasses, but you'll start to see the rooms kind of flesh out more, which is why they're pretty empty when you first build them. So let's see, lab, not teleporting NPC. And some lab upgrades only have facility energy cost. Right, I'm getting a lot of good stuff to add to my list to work on. Okay, let's go back to the lab services again. So is that thing where it says finding lab personnel? That's where it's supposed to be finding you a science worker, and then I believe it tries to get somebody from that's on the floor with you to walk over there, and if it can't find anybody, just teleport someone. But that does not appear to be working. Okay, so let's go to modify here. And now if we go down to, you can see the science ones are now suddenly available. So now we can go to, well, we don't want either of these. Those are terrible. But yeah, so it lets us have access to the science. But if you see, if I go into my perk chart, I still don't have science. Where is science anyway? It's under intelligence, right? There we go, and I still don't have science. So it's all done under the hood with some hacks that we came up with. But I love that. I love the lab system. And I will try and do all the rest of my upgrades in there. I'm just not in the mood to do upgrades right now because I'm having fun with HQ today. What I want to do is get that staff training room so I can explain that system to you guys. And then I think after that we'll shift gears to just hanging out and chatting, because I know I went long because I got all excited about HQ upgrades I could do. So we'll shift gears shortly to chat time. So if you guys got questions for me or whatnot, now would probably be a good time to start posting them. Just make sure you include @KingGath. I will scroll back up through chat and try and catch any of them that come in the next 10 minutes. Let's see here. We're going to go to admin, and we want the staff training room. Oh, and I also wanted to build the other fountain too, which is welcoming courtyard. Oh my God, we're out of building materials. Holy cow! We just ran all our building materials out. Okay, I guess we got a new mission for next week. We're going to be going up. Restoring some building materials. Actually, the other thing I could do, not just the building material fixing of like going to build more industrial plots that do those, is I could also start running around with Mark 1 beacons. That would not be a bad idea either. Get a couple of those set up. I got caravans everywhere just sitting around. I should get a couple of Mark 1 beacons and we could just go start rooting around for resources that way. That actually seems like that seems more fun than spending another day tinkering with my settlements. Okay, you guys got to check out this fountain if you haven't seen it already. It's freaking beautiful. All right, let's get it. Let's give it. Hey, it's
How many you killed today?
Look at this thing.
Probably 50.
It's like spinning around this water. I don't know how he does these water effects. This is not the only one he's done. We've got another one in that welcoming courtyard, which I want to build. But now I'm short on building materials, and it also has like a water that follows the pattern of like he came up with some way to do this, and he does this in Nifscope as far as I know. So really beautiful looking. Love it. Great job, Ono. So pleasant. Now, see, now when Mansfield says there's a certain splendor about it, I can believe him. My only pet peeve now in this courtyard is this little flickering over here.
Hello.
Every time I walk by there, that catches my eye, and I want it to go away.
I am too busy for this mess.
I need to put that on my list too, just because it's so irritating, the flickering. Like, I wish the at engine level they would just like solve, like just decide. Like, if you get Z fighting, just pick one. Like, I don't care which one. So Z fighting behind spiral stairs.
Glad to be able to give clear solutions for a change without people looking at me like I'm crazy.
All right, now, okay, so now we have the classroom training done. All right, so I want to show you guys the, talk about the staff training stuff. So it should, once I start a class, it should unlock. But as soon as you build the staff training, your admin department will suddenly have some new stuff available. Should be, oh, I probably have to exit out for it to open up again. So let's exit and get that to appear. Give it a second. All right, let's make sure that this happened. Uh-oh, are my events not showing up yet? All right, let's go over to make sure the room actually built.
Hey.
Oh, hey, Crow. Excuse me. Gotta go check on our training room.
Huh? Forgive me if this is a...
Hey, there we go. I love this room design. This is one of my favorites in here.
Let's get this show on the road.
Okay, so let's see if there are events show up yet. No, they're still not showing up. What's going on here? All right, I'm being impatient. I gotta let the system under the hood. All right, well, once they show up, we'll do them. So I'm gonna keep wandering around. I'll give it a few minutes.
What's the matter?
What's the matter? We need you to fix mole rat disease. Can you do that for us? Let's see. Do we magically suddenly get more water available? Wait, what is that? Science, energy, research, disease. Okay, so we could actually start cure. Oh, we just need food. See, look at that. Now the food's down. See, this is something wonky going on, because our food was like 50 when we got here. Because we could have researched the cure. That would have been awesome. And this one needs water. Yeah, something funky. I'm gonna put food on my list too, not just water. Investigate food and water. Something suspicious here. Okay, let's pop back out and then in one more time and see if the... Look at Dogmeat just like sitting all cockeyed on the spiral staircase. Let's go to admin again. There they are. Yep, I was just being impatient. Okay, so you eventually, after staff training is built, you will unlock events. And these, what they do, what we wanted to do was make sure... Oops, I just dropped my controller. We want to make sure that HQ always feels different than settlement. So we didn't want to just have it be training to buff their stats. So instead what this does is, if you haven't, or I'm sure all of you guys know by now, but if you haven't picked up on it, the way the energy works in a department is each department has a primary stat that's a focus, that it's affected by, and the combined total of stats of all your employees add up to the amount of energy you get for the day. So for example, we have 13 facilities staff, we add up all their strength together and we get the 41 max energy. Now you're showing on my screen 61 energy because we have the policy enabled right now to allow overworking facilities by 50%, so we get 61. But what you can also do to increase your energy is what I call cross-training. And you can see in the description up there, biohazard cleanup training course, facilities workers max energy per day is increased by 1. So basically, if we work this, every facilities worker will suddenly give us 1 more energy. And you can keep running these trainings, and they will keep adding 1 up to their max perception. So like, let's say you run this training 3 times, then you could get as many as 39 more energy points, because 13 facilities members times the 3 trainings. But if anybody has a low perception score, like anybody with a 1 could only gain 1 of that benefit. And it's one of those things where it affects everybody that's in your HQ department right now. And then if you change people around departments or You bring in new people, you would need to train them separately. So it's basically one of these things where this is one of the primary uses of the admin department is you can kind of have these things running in perpetuity, just like keep running these trainings over and over again. Admin can even help themselves with the empathy training course. So that way you can, run this and then that'll allow you to run even more courses. So it's kind of like a little way you can kind of self-perpetuate here. So let's see, we need more science energy, for example. So let's go ahead and start doing science training so we can actually do more in science without needing to get more people in there, since I'm having trouble getting more people right now. So we'll do that. We'll run the resident survival training course. And because we're just trying to build right now, we'll go ahead and do facilities, and we'll let those 2 training courses run. Now, it's set up in a way where the AI should technically go to the training room, but I have not ever followed NPCs around enough to see if they actually do it or not. I was just happy to get the mechanic working at the time. So let's see if anybody... Okay, here we go. And then so after you run the first one, it tells you about it. So after training is complete, each person in the department will be able to use an additional point of cross-trained stat to provide dependent or injury up to the current stat value. And it explains basically what I just did. In fact, they use the same example, facilities and perception. So I'm guessing all these people... Oh, and it looks like the training courses are using... Oh man, I gotta turn that off. The training courses are using the cheat setting we have. So like we can basically just spam these, which is not great for balance. So I'm gonna have to add that to my list to fix too. So right now we're playing with this option, the override timers, which was meant to skip the construction and cleaning timers so that it was closer to what you're used to with plots. But it ends up, by default, it skips every project, and so I probably need to put the trainings off on an exclusion list, because otherwise that's pretty broken. So I'm going to put that on my list. Exclude training courses from timer skip. So I will stop doing trainings right now because that feels too cheaty to me, but I just want to show that the energy increase is working. So let's check that it worked. Yeah, there we go. So facilities up to 54, science went up to 34. So obviously the more people you have in the department, the bigger benefits you get from it. So yeah, that is one of the HQ 2.0 mechanics that I was most excited to get, folks, because it's a way to just get a boatload of energy if you were struggling in that department at all. Alright, so now we're going to go to a settlement and shift gears to just chat mode. So I'm leaving HQ just because it's real noisy here with the PA system and everything. Oh, I forgot I could have fast traveled out. Alright, let me scroll back up through chat to about 10 minutes ago and catch any messages you guys posted. Oh, I think I was pretty far caught up. I'm not that far behind at all. Yeah, looks like nobody posted any questions while I was gone. Perfect. So I'm not behind at all for once. That's usually where I struggle the most in this streaming, is keeping up with chat. You guys are too fast for me. Alright, Nezzy, I'm on the latest patch, not the beta, and I just noticed that the auto wire options in the workshop power tools are now gone for me. All I have is the switch to faux power option. That would mean that F4S, you're not using F4SE right now in your when you loaded the game. So I don't know if you forgot to load from F4SE loader, or at some point you loaded without it and then it confused workshop framework, but that option will only show up if F4SE was detected. So if you go to power tools here, so like the only one that can show up without F4SE is convert settlement to full powered. All right, let's pop in workshop mode so we clear the weather. There we go. All right. Oh, we need to make our final save for the night. Save. And this is the only save I've done before or tonight, which is really dumb. Day 34, end of session. All right, set game hour to 11. Force, oh, that weather's great. Set time scale to 0.1. Move away from all these talky people. And then we'll go to TFC. And we'll watch our people mill about. There we go. Karvok, would you like to see me build in the mech lair? Sure. What's your streaming time like? Oh, cool. Look at that. We just got a bunch of building materials. Fantastic. What's your streaming schedule like, Karvok? Like, if it's, my favorite time to watch streams is during the workday. Like, cause then I can, if I'm working on some coding project and I can just listen to somebody playing some settlements in the background, that's so fun. Like, and then I just, if something exciting happens, I'll hear it in your voice. I can tab over. But yeah, so if you're streaming during my work hours, that'd be awesome. Nick Carter, can you check if your decontamination arch will activate in the first room in HQ? Yeah, I can go do that. Let me get back in there. TFC. Let's go to HQ. We'll have to build it real quick because I did not build it yet. Nice work, Raybo. You were on top of that. I didn't even get a chance to see the bot, and you deleted it so fast. Other than it shows me all deleted messages, but that was fast. Oscar Fry, do you think we can have an optional file for Mail and SS2 where we can use the Robo Workbench on her? I feel she'd be better off as a sentry boss, and she's a I have no idea what you're talking about. An optional file for for Mala. Okay, in SS2 where we can use the Robo Workbench on her. Maybe, like, I probably have to see what writing is done for Mala in Chapter 3. Like, I would not want to create a situation where the story stuff doesn't make sense anymore, so it depends on what kind of dialogue and stuff is written about it. If there's no dialogue about it, then I'd say that after you get to HQ, yeah, there'd be no reason she couldn't be used in the robotics lab, worked on in the robotics lab. So, maybe. Just not anytime soon. Maybe after Chapter 3. What was I gonna build? Upgrades, right? Upgrades, security room, decontamination arches. All right, let's see if these work. I give that a moment to build. All right, while we're waiting for that to build, Orange Poppy, I have a question. I can't seem to progress the quest. Is there a doctor in the house? Is there a workaround? I mean, there's always a workaround for our anything main quests related, in that you can cheat past it. So if you go into our holotape, but do you know, like, what step are you stuck on? Do you know can you tell me what the objective is? And I can try and tell you if there's a way. Otherwise, I can just show you the cheat section of the holotape, which you can bypass any part of our main quest line with. City manager. So you go to tools, cheats, quest skipping, and then you can force complete the current main quest or do skip ahead to specific main quest and select it. Now, the only quest that I think can't be skipped is Commonwealth Rising. You'll be able to once we get to Chapter 3 out, but it was basically like the work required to make a quest skippable is a lot. So I think it was just a matter of I just didn't see the reason to do it for that last quest, when the last quest is kind of optional anyway. Like, there's no... the story kind of progresses up to the point of after you get to this doctor in house, there's not really any... The last story moment is kind of just like a preview of Chapter 3. And so it's kind of like an Easter egg. So to me, it felt like it's not a necessary quest to complete. So I never bothered to build the cheat for it, but you can cheat past everything else, including is there a doctor in the house. Nezzy, you're definitely on F4SC. Yeah, well, for some reason, a workshop framework isn't detecting it. So all I could suggest would be... try saving your game, exit, come back in, see if it detects it. But that is why that's happening. Let's see. Okay, here's my decontamination arches. I guess I need some radiation. I think the sprayers don't work, but I think it's still supposed to remove your radiation. So let's go get ourselves some radiation. There should be some water right outside of here we can jump into. I know we had the sprayers working at one point, and then I don't know what happened. This is one of the things that drives me nuts with developing something this big with so many people, is I'll get something working, and then some months later we change something, and then it breaks something else, and I have no idea why. Like the lab thing. Like, we had the lab working really good at one point, and clearly some stuff broke along the way. Alright, let's let our rads get up a little ways. See if the scrubbers need to be added to the bug list. My bet is if these don't work, they're already on our bug list, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. We have got quite a few confirmed reports in our tracker right now. In we go. I'll see what happens. YouTube really wants me to insert ads in the middle of the stream. I get constant notifications like, now would be a good time to insert ads. No, thanks. Do you, Nick Carter, do you know where I have an organic quarter? Oh, I guess I could roll back my save to the previous one and show you that. All right, let's see. Does this... Yeah, see, it removed my rads. It's just not spraying. So, like, I have no rads right now. So it works. It's just the sprayer part doesn't work. So that I bet was like a known issue that we just didn't bother to, because it became low priority. Because like, well, at least the important part is it decontaminates. So okay, so let's load. You want me to check organic hoarders? So let's load my last save. So we'll go to end of session Lupe. Carback can upload to YouTube as my times will be very late for you. Ah, okay. So you're streaming when I'm sleeping? Yeah, John Geddes, I remember the power system not liking over 1024 potentially powered objects. Did that ever get updated? Yes, I updated it to 2048. And like a week after I did that, I got an email from somebody else saying, asking me to increase it again. I was like, are you kidding me? And they said they're using a transfer settlements blueprint from in Vault, Vault 88, that is like apparently completely loaded with powered items. It's like, all right, I'll put it on the list to do, because it doesn't cost anything to do it. Like it's just takes 10 minutes of coding to extend the group of arrays, and the system will like stop using arrays when it fills up with all of your powered items. So it's not like having the capability for more causes any problems for people who don't use that many. So I'm happy to increase it. It's just I was shocked that 2,048 items wasn't enough for some folks. Okay, they're gonna fight up there. That's not my problem unless it's gonna prevent me from fast traveling. All right, so let's go to Sunshine. We want to check if there are 3 doors on our organics, or if this is a bug in one person's save. It definitely feels like the type of bug we would have, so I'm betting you're not alone there. When we're coordinating, you know, I think we have, I want to say over 100 building plans in the base mod, that it's definitely where some stuff that slipped through the cracks. Skywise, I'm late for the contest, but you think you could take a look at my Nuka Red rocket? I think didn't we just finish? Wait, was Nuka World or Nuka Red Rocket, was that the one for this month? Like, did it just end today? Because I think that like the cutoff for that is technically in 48 minutes. So you're not late if you have it done. Unless that was last month. I lose track of which settlement is which month. I just know that Mech-Lair is this month because I just posted the video this afternoon. But if you have it finished, Skywise, you're good. You're in. If it was for this month, if I'm wrong and it was last month, then yeah, you're way late. Okay, we're checking organics. I got distracted there. All right, here we go. So let's see. Does this have 3 doors? It does not. So I think that just means you just need to do a refresh, Nick. This is the right one, right? This is the one you were thinking of? Yep, organics order. Yeah, so you just need to refresh the plot. Some script lag probably hit and caused it to not erase the doors from the previous levels. Okay, well that worked out nice. Now we're back here where I wanted to TFC for the stream, or for the chatting time. Yeah, John Geddes, I remember you were the one who asked about it first, and that you were the one I made the change for, and then somebody else asked me to change it again. I was like, holy cow. So I would be very curious to see the settlement that person has, or whatever the blueprint is. TFC. Up we go. Let's see. yeah, the upper limit right now is 2048. I never increased it again after the last. Oh, that's probably Terry and JoJo again fighting them because this is I rolled back the save. Yep, there they are. All right, let's disable them. Go away. But yeah, I haven't made the increase, but I'll probably increase it by another 1024 or something, so it'll go up to, what's that, 30, what's the math on that? 2048 plus another 1024, whatever that works out to be, 3090. No, it's not 3096. You guys can do the math. It'll be get to over 3000, and then if it's still not enough, I'll do it one more time up to 4096. But I'm just gonna do it in chunks like that, just because it does take time to do it, and like I have so many bug fixes, I would rather not spend all of my time typing up array code for something that, you know, most people aren't gonna ever need. Because that's a lot of, like, that's such an insane number of items that it's like you're getting into, your game is probably broken territory. Alright, we're gonna find this other guy soon here. Is it this guy? I might just disable the children of Adam. You guys are the real problem children here. Ah, that was an unintentional dad joke. Beowulf, I stay awake just to be here. 6 a.m. here in Sweden. Well, thank you. I hope you are able to get some sleep after this, despite it being the middle of the day now. Ah, still more. Oh, but our Protectron is fighting him too. All right. Sorry, George, you're out. Let's see. Maximum. Any plans to have a building plan contest opposed to city plans? That was the dream at one point, and I've said this again, or I've said this before, and I still stand by it. Is before I will do a building plan contest, I want a system where people could export their in-game built designs, and we have all the tools to do it. I just don't have the bandwidth to do it. So it's like if some developer came along who knew enough about all of the disparate systems and was willing to tackle it, you know, absolutely we could go that route. But you know, like our team is pretty much has their hands full, and so it's not likely to happen. But that would be fun. That would be really fun. I think the learning curve for the builder's toolkit is a little too much for the average person. Like, you know, those of you guys who really love the system, and a lot of people, anybody who's figured it out will tell you the tutorials are easy. It's just a lot of time. And that is my problem with using it for a contest, is like, it would basically, the people who would enter it, I think would mostly be the folks who already have released content. And I would want it to be more of a thing like as encouraging new people to get into the game. And I think the tutorial series is too long for that. So the idea would be if we could get it into an in-game system, then we could reduce it down significantly to where all you would have to do is run a few exports of, you know, a design you did in-game and then upload it to a tool online like we do with the City Plan Contest. That's how I would want to get it down to pretty much that simple. And like I think we have all the parts to pull it off, and just someone assembling them would be a probably a 2-month project. So just it's hard to justify when we've got you know, we got a lot of stuff in development already. We got some mega packs we're working on. We've got chapter 3, obviously. I've got to keep bugs at bay from Workshop Framework and SS2. So unfortunately, not likely going to happen. Challenge accepted, John Geddes. Oh God, see how many power items you can cram into a settlement before it breaks. Gavin, don't the vault sections conduct power? Yeah, I think that is why that person ran into such a huge number. Is all of the vault pieces that snap together, they all transmit power. So technically all those have to go, have to be not wired, but they have to be registered by the auto wiring system, or by all of the power. Excuse me, the power tool systems that Workshop Framework has. What it does is it analyzes every item in the settlement and see if it has anything to do with power, and then it knows to trigger power grid related updates to it. And that's part of how that system works. And so, yeah, all of those end up getting added to it as well, even though they're not used in the wiring. Beowulf, hand placed decoration on my sanctuary is now 2150. I keep running down to see how far it will be before I crash, so I know the limit. That's a lot. That's a lot of items placed. Jenkins, just kidding, but I do really like to build large settlements, personal home, faction power armor, weapons, and my builds tend to get really, really detailed. Well, hopefully we've got enough for you, power-wise, but yeah, I think the tool still runs even if you don't have enough, or if you don't have enough space. I think it just pops you the warning saying like, hey, let King Gath know we had to leave some items behind, unless he ups the limit. Because Daddy, don't know if you knew, but if you're using the same cheat code repeatedly, you can just press the up key. Yeah, I use that a lot. Yeah, I just didn't do it there. I'm just so used to typing those commands in a fresh save. But yeah, the up key is amazing. Especially when we start. So when we're doing testing for new mechanics and stuff, where we don't have the interfaces yet, we have to do everything through console commands. So we end up writing a lot of bat files. And then, just being able to like hit up and rerun the bat file saves a lot of time. So especially like the chapter 3 mechanics, like I'm actually at the point now where the chapter 3 mechanics, I've got a lot of the interfaces set up. We're that far along with them, which is pretty awesome. Don't Patreon 25 plus folks, don't be surprised if you don't get some demos in this month's dev update video to show off some of the stuff, because it's coming along pretty nicely now. It's like starting to get into that territory of like, I'm happy with the features, they're locked. Which is pretty important to have at this stage, because we're doing quest implementation now. So any of the points where the quests implement or integrate with the mechanics need to be kind of finalized. Nick Carter, will Alyssa have more content in Chapter 3? Very, very unlikely. So we're working on getting some, not necessarily like not big chunks of content for some of the characters and stuff, but integration with some of the Chapter 3 stuff is what we're focused on instead, to make sure that the characters all kind of feel like they're part of it, instead of it being like, okay, you did their quests and then you dispose of them. We don't want that feeling. So we're working on some of that stuff, but it's a huge workload. So it might be that a lot of the stuff we have planned gets pushed into patches, and it'll just be like at initial launch, we're going to focus on, let's get the mechanics out there, let's get the story, and then we'll have to backfill some of that, that content that brings some of our characters more in line with that. Like, for example, any of the newer settlers we added, like the settlers we added later in Chapter 2, like the ones that we kind of showcased off the main quest, like the Gray Matters and Planet X, like all the characters involved with those have a way deeper dialogue pool than any of the rest of their settlers, and we want to bring all of them up to parity at some point, but that's a ton of work. It involves like getting writers involved to write hundreds of new lines, getting the voice actors back up and getting them to try and emulate their old performance, and if they can't, then re-recording the whole character. So it's a lot. So adding more stuff for the older characters is a taller order than we're used to. We are, for some of them, we planned on it all along. So for like a couple characters from the Nightingales, like we knew from the get-go we were going to need them again, so we like made sure the voice actors were prepared, and we used voice actors who have professional setups, so that way we don't have to worry about them losing their or suddenly having their character voice change, or their equipment sound differently when you record it, so we'll actually have a chance to reuse the stuff. There's always going to be little discrepancies unless someone's using a sound booth. Like you can hear it, you can even hear it in the base game. If you go listen to voice files from Nick in Far Harbor versus the ones from the base game, they sound a little bit different, even though it's the same voice actor using the same character voice and everything. You can tell they used a different recording setup, and so the sound files are different, and we want to avoid that as much as possible, because it's a little bit jarring especially within the same quest, or like if you hear one idle line and then the next. But anyway, so we worked with a lot of pros for the characters we knew were coming back, but a lot of those recruitable characters were just like community members or people who have never done any professional voice acting. They'd put in a good audition for the character and we worked with them, and most of the voice actors said they'd be willing to come back, but it's just we've just been struggling to get scripts together. So it's just like most of our writing team is working on Chapter 3 content, so finding additional writing support to get the characters expanded has been a problem. We brought back some of the writers who wrote the characters originally, but a lot of those folks have moved on. They're just not, don't have the free time to do any more projects, or they weren't interested. So yeah, Alyssa's definitely not on the list for that. We were actually focused on settlers before the conquered characters. I think are the least likely to get additional content. The exception might be Edmund or Caleb, but the rest of them I don't think there's a strong chance. And we wanted to bring back Elias for something, but the voice actor that we worked with for Elias, he actually, when he agreed to do it, he thought it was a paid gig. And actually he was like, oh man, I thought this was paid. And then he was willing to do it anyway because he had agreed, so he just felt bad. But I don't want to ask him to do more after like he barely did it for us in the first place. Like he did a great job, and I like the character. It's really a funny little quest line. But yeah, getting stuff done for characters again, like on a second session, is actually a lot harder than I anticipated. Like I remember when we were first planning all these characters back when we were still in the planning stages for Rise of the Commonwealth, so like 5 years ago. I had these ideas that we would be able to just like constantly talk to the voice actors and redo stuff, and then everybody in the community kind of set me straight of like, no, that's not really how it works. Like it takes a long time to develop all this, and there's these issues with sound recordings and the quality of them, and then a lot of times the amateur voice actors will have different sound setups, or they might not be able to record at the same level. So I was like, oh, okay. So like we're even trying to bring back some folks right now is a reach, but we were gonna go for it because I just really like that idea. I've been like kind of pouring my heart into like perfecting this mod over time. Like we're slow going, and but I like the idea of having this this thing outlive me, at least until people all move on from Fallout 4. But you look at the other Bethesda games, and like people are still modding like Morrowind like crazy and playing it, and that's really that feels really awesome. And I'd love to have some settlements live in that sphere as well. Like not necessarily getting updates from me still at that point, but I like the idea of like people playing it still in 15-20 years. Like that would be really incredible. So I think more likely to happen if we really go all out and make it feel like a true game experience. And to me, one of those things is to make sure that there's cohesion within our systems, and like all our characters acknowledge it, because otherwise the characters start to feel flat if they don't acknowledge things that are happening around them. Ziorheimer, thank you for the donation. No question there, or nothing for me to read, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it. For any of you guys who are considering helping out the project, any super chats you throw at me, just go into a pool we use to pay for any costs that come with the development. So that is where that $30 is going. Thank you very much. Okay, so I went way off the rails there with talking about Alyssa. Sorry about that, guys. Mod Hunter 42. When is Cricket's weapon coming in the HQ quests? I think you mean wait, are you talking about Cricket, like the crazy lady that's out by Diamond City that I was running to, or are you talking about Gremlin? Because most people ask me about when is Gremlin's weapon coming, and I think I have a solution for that, but I won't talk about it yet because I still have to figure it out. There's some technical hurdles, but I think I have a solution for the lack of a weapon for Gremlin right now. Discmaster, I saw I mentioned in the beta topic for 223 for crashing on Xbox One with downtown Boston. Do you have an approximate location of where it occurs? I mentioned it because that's just like a thing that happens on Xbox. Like they're more likely to crash in downtown Boston. It was kind of like an inside joke because Xbox players are constantly. And the game crashes a lot on Xbox. I've been playing it on Xbox recently so that I could discover. I've been trying to find missing textures. So we get reports on Twitter and occasionally on the forums for missing textures on Xbox. But because they don't have access to the console, all they can do is like send me cell phone photos, and it's not always helpful. So I've been trying to like go find these things myself. And man, the game Fallout 4 just crashes on Xbox pretty regularly. It's really irritating. But downtown Boston, it's like you're just asking for trouble to hang out down there, especially with a bunch of mods installed. Snacky, for some reason when I do that remote management quest for HQ, the lounger doesn't appear when Jake tells me to sit down. Not sure if it's a common bug or anything. I think you are the person I saw who reported it before. I think like your username looks familiar to me. So as far as I know, you're the only person who's reported it so far. Did you tweet that at me, possibly? I think, like, Snacky looks familiar to me, or maybe I saw it on the forums. But no, I have not run into that. I don't know what would cause that. But I would say the best spot to post it is on the forums because we need multiple people to confirm it. And once we have multiple people who can repeat it, then we just figure out, you know, what did they do differently or what's in their load order or like something so we can replicate it. Because if I can't repeat an issue or if someone can't tell me how to specifically make a thing happen, then I can't really make any meaningful change without risking just breaking it for other people. So I tend to like avoid non-repeatable issues, and I just like have to work on other stuff because we have, let me check the Git right now. We have a Git issue tracker, and I can tell you how many confirmed reports we have, and you'll see why I often you often won't hear anything from me when you have a rogue issue like that. It's because I have so many confirmed reports that I can work on. So yeah, we have 142 confirmed issues. Now I'd say about 50 of those aren't actually confirmed issues. They're probably like people suggest. So I often tell people on the team to also use the Git tracker for like suggestions for improvement of like things we could smooth out. So I'm gonna guess about 50 of them on that. So that still leaves about 80 some confirmed issues that we have that we got to deal with. So then stuff that's unconfirmed I kind of have to ignore. So if you can post it on the forums, see if anybody else, you know, follows up. I mean, search forums first, see if anyone else does have it. And then if once enough people have it, usually you guys will figure out the common denominator. And if it's a mod conflict, you know, maybe we can get the mod author to patch it, or if someone confirms it and shows me how to replicate it, I can try and see if there's a change I can make to prevent it from happening. Thank you, Canuck, again for the reminder. Yeah, if you want me to, I'm only reading just because I tend to go off on long, what would you call them? Long little side conversations about stuff when I answer these questions. Chat, I tend to fall way behind on chat, so to catch up, I just look for things with @KingGath, and I don't read through all the chat. So make sure you @KingGath if you want me to read your message. Chris McLam, on the different world space mods like London, where you can't go to the Commonwealth, will Jake appear in your settlement if you place your agreement again? Probably. I think we have it set up for detecting the Commonwealth, but the ones that are out right now, like the Point Lookout and Project Mojave, even though those are separate world space, their settlements can still work with SS2. Like, we've tested that. Like, the quest line wouldn't work in them because all of the quests are set up in locations in the Commonwealth. But you could play with the mechanics. And that's what I anticipate will be the case if they add settlements in London, which from our conversation with Prilladog, that will be the case. Some settlements should just work with it. The mechanics of it anyway. Just that, you know, the quest line won't work. Oscar Fry, so should I check up on the Mala thing and I asked on the next stream, or when should I ask you about it? I mean, if it was something we did, it wouldn't be until after Chapter 3. So wait until after that, because I don't know what kind of stuff we're doing with Mala in Chapter 3. Because I've given up on trying to keep up with the writing team on everything that's going in. Like, you know, I just trust them now. So I don't go over every piece of writing that comes in. So I don't know what's happening with Mala. But if it turns out that, like, it won't, you know, like if none of the dialogue cares if she's a Protectron or not, then yeah, I don't see any reason why we can't add the flags to make her editable with the robotics lab. Oh, Mod Hunter, you did mean Gremlin. Yeah, so we have two potential things coming in the works to handle Gremlin. I don't know which of them will come to fruition, but yeah, we are working on something for that because it was like a series of unfortunate events that ended up with Gremlin not having a payoff at the end. There was the longest time where I didn't think Gremlin was going to make the cut because the writer was still working on Gremlin, and then by the time Gremlin finally got in, I had forgotten that the author had requested a custom weapon, and then it was like, it just got to be too late. So then we came up with the compromise of like, well, she can trigger the unlock for the big giant laser turret. But then later in development, we're like, oh, that's too easy of a skip. Let's have everybody skip to the advanced instead. So there's now a character that skips to advanced food, a character skips to advanced water, etc. And so then Gremlin lost out and now has no weapon-related thing as a reward at the end. So that's like just a hole that happened in a series of development mishaps that I would like to resolve. And we actually brought back the writer. I guess the writer never really left. Kefke has been around and we actually offered Kefke the opportunity to write an additional quest for Gremlin to resolve this. And he's been working on it periodically, but I don't know what the status is on it, so I can't comment on that. But if that gets finished, then we will make sure that there is a a final reward for it. So, Disconnector, I'll have to try and find the coordinates to see if I can get that cluster regenerated, as I recently ported PRP over to Xbox in tiny chunks. Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't, like I said, it wasn't any particular thing. It was just like an offhand joke about the fact that downtown Boston is generally crashy for Xbox players. I didn't tweet. Okay, because somebody tweeted me about a problem and I didn't get around to responding to it. I tend to, like, if you guys ever message me on the forums directly or Twitter or Nexus Mods or any of the social media type places I have, and you don't get a response from me, it's because I tend to just like let all my messages pile up until patch day, and then I catch them all up, because half the messages I get are people asking me to do something for them, and then it makes it so I can't make any progress, because I can't really be reading those messages during my work day and not when I'm with my kids. So it's like, okay, the only time I really have to look them over is during modding time, and then if I get pulled down a bunch of side requests of finding information for people or investigating bugs, it derails my progress. So I do it all in one day, about once every 3 or 4 weeks. So if any of you guys has been waiting on a response from me for something, that is probably why. I'm just, because we're patches until next week, so next Friday all I'll do that day is post the patch, which is a pretty big project itself because we have it in so many forums, and then I'll just respond to messages all day long. Beowulf, I was the one that was saying Workshop Framework was broken on GitHub Circ 55. Is it sometime conflicting Fallout 4 HD overhaul when starting a new game is gone or reloads an old save? Oh yeah, I vaguely remember what you're talking about. We were trying to figure out, like, I could tell. I remember that post. So you're saying it's Fallout 4 HD overhaul is the cause. That's weird. I wonder why. Like, I can't think of anything they would have included that would mess with Workshop Framework. Very weird. It's crazy. Sometimes when mods conflict, it's because the author just tried to use Bethesda's tools. So when you just use the creation kit to package up your mod, it will include all sorts of weird files that you had no intention of including, and that can cause a lot of problems, especially with workshop stuff. I think like most of the mod, there's a few exceptions where like the mod author just didn't think anything of it when they edited a workshop script, but most of the time what I found with conflicts with Workshop Framework, it's just a mistake. It's just like the creation kit said, here, you should include these files, and you know what, most people, if they're just like, right, well, I learned how to mod this particular part, I don't know anything about script files or anything, so they just say yes when it offers to package it up for them. So that's also why we did that script override thing. I don't know if you've tried that, Beowulf. I think you said you did. I think I remember your post. You did try the script override, and that still didn't fix it. So that's a mystery. I don't know why that mod would mess with that like that. Carbach, I will save vids for the whole mech build, upload them to YouTube so you can watch them when you want. Cool. Is there something you think Mechlair should have? The thing that I always wanted to see in Mechlair, you really can't really do well. I mean, I guess you could for the contest, is go beyond the borders of the settlement, like connect more of it up. I guess you can do that because city plans will let you, but like I always wanted to see that facility more. Like, it's like a full, huge robotics facility producing. Like, it's just an awesome place. And then you guys just saw the music video I did with Ricky Summer for showing off the city plan. He wrote like a custom song for it. It's really good. Not to toot my own horn, but that place has just got so many good, like, machine things and whatnot. I actually felt like that was such a waste that all you get to do is turn it into a settlement. Like, it feels like you should get, after you do that, you should, if you side with the whether you side with the mechanists or take over the facility, you should just get like unlimited free robots after that or something. Because it was, let me see, I think the video was called Sim Punk. Let me find it. This was really fun to do, and I actually really like the song too. Copy link. Here, if you guys haven't seen this, this is from a while back. This is from back in SS1. We made this. But somebody, Ricky Summer is a YouTuber and musician who was a huge fan of Sim Settlements and did like 8 seasons, or not 8. It was a whole bunch of seasons of covering the mod. And eventually, and like we got connected, and for a while he actually was editing for my YouTube channel. And he wrote a special song just for us for when we were releasing our Mechlair, which was like it's kind of a cyberpunk themed build. And he wrote us a song, and we made a little music video out of it. Let's see here. Then the message dispersed. The framework script is overwritten. It took some time. I have over 325. Oh, okay, yeah. So you do get the overwritten error. Oscar Fry. Honestly, the mech layer should be allowed to be cleared out, rebuilt, and made into a factory to build robots. Yeah, I think that would be amazing. Actually, this is like, there's some cool stuff about the Fallout 4 engine that I think there's a potential for some more mods that haven't been created yet. So one of the things that's really cool about the creation engine is it doesn't use baked lighting, which means all of the lights are done dynamically at runtime. Which one of the things that someone could make a mod for would be really awesome, and there's some stuff in the game already set up for this. Like Bethesda planned on doing this, and at some point they backed out. I don't know why they backed out, but there is the remnants of a shoot the lights out type system, which I love those in games. Like, you know, anybody who played any, you know, major stealth games, like I'm trying to think of the best version of that. Didn't the Metro series do that? Couldn't you shoot out lights in that? I vaguely remember you could do it in Metro. But anyway, those games where you should be able to, because all the lights are dynamic at runtime, somebody should be able to make a mod where you can shoot out every single light in the game and make it dark. And I believe the Raiders already have lines to react to the darkness, and they're just disabled. So like, that's a huge mod right there. So that's something cool you can do in this and the engine. One of the things I don't like in the engine is they went the reverse with that with their objects. So like, even though the lights are all runtime, not baked, which makes for really cool dynamic potential gameplay, then they baked all their meshes together. And so we in order to, if we wanted to do something cool, like make mech layer able to be cleaned up, the performance would just be god awful. So it's such a bummer that they didn't come up with a way to do. I'm hopeful that with the improvements they made to the engine, they got past that. And with the, you know, hardware being better overall now, because now if you look at the specs on like PS5 and Xbox Series X, it's better than most people's gaming PCs at right now, other than, you know, the folks who are dumping in thousands and thousands of dollars on it. It's just like right out of the box, it's really, really high quality. So I'm hoping that we're getting past the performance limitations from that type of stuff. But I also have seen with 76, they clearly have figured out dynamic mesh collections, so like you can do it in the blueprint system in there, so I'm guessing they use that in the engine as well. So that means that we should, in theory, with Starfield and beyond, be able to do cooler stuff like that. Like if we wanted to do, you know, like a mod where we take over some dungeon in Starfield and turn it into a, you know, like a GNN type of situation like we got with HQ, like that should be doable with a lot less effort as far as worrying about performance. So I hope that's the case. I hope that they figured out how to get past, like, obviously, like that's one of the big selling points to me to Unreal 5 is their system for procedural geometry. I don't know what do they call it? It's not procedural geometry. Their system that lets them basically work with cinematic assets, like and let the engine downscale them on the fly. Like that is the dream right there, because that is where I would like to see every game go, so that you don't have limitations and your imagination is your limitation on gameplay. Snacky, I found a form with the same problem as me. They just made a fresh save and it works, so not sure why it happens, but people are also having problems with getting stuck when Jake calls them. Yeah, the issues with the radio, the HQ radio, for most people, they should have been resolved with the hotfix I just did. And then I'm adding in, actually I can show you guys, I added in 2 new options for this public beta that should let people bypass the other 2 issues, or any future issues with HQ radio. So one of the things that's coming in the patch next week that's available now in the public beta, if you go into the HQ gameplay, you'll see some mentions of HQ radio in the settings here. Let's see, I probably didn't install them in this save for the MCM, so let me check my holotape. Let me get out of TFC and I'll show you guys. There are 2 new options, and they're basically going to let you disable so there's 2 things that happen when you use HQ radio. One is it disables your controls other than your ability to respond to dialogue, and locks your player in. And I think that's why some people get stuck, because they just can't move. They can't exit the conversation. So there's an option now to disable that. The problem with that will be that people then need to get in the habit of like waiting for the conversation to finish before they move, or they won't be able to continue it because it's all done with an invisible actor. Like basically, like you're basically talking to an invisible box, and that's why we locked your controls. We don't want you to run away from it and then be in a system where you don't know where to click, like so that you break the conversation. So instead, we just lock you out. But you can use this to turn that off. So that'll help most people who are getting stuck. And then for people who just find the system like kind of intrusive, we're also adding in, and it looks like I don't have it. Okay, I got to put that on my list too. It's not showing up here in my list. I must have conditioned it incorrectly. So you're also going to have the ability to prevent them from radioing you, and instead you'll get a message in the corner that says like so-and-so is waiting to talk to you at HQ, so that you can radio them yourself. Second option, missing in holotape. Okay, I will get that fixed. Good thing I checked that. I mean, I'm sure somebody already reported it on the public beta thing. I test usually with MCM, and I'm not using my test install right now because I'm playing my live stream stuff. There we go. I hope that I don't have to make a patch for Starfield to account for that. You don't want to have to make a patch of 1,000 planets? Seems like no problem. Oscar Fry, I think you and the team need to put some work into Vault 88. I did some math and turns out Vault 88 can be a settlement that 3 square miles and 3 stories high in some spots if the game code allowed it. Whew. We have the Vault 88 city plan for Rise of the Commonwealth is pretty crazy. Like we did a lot in there. Although it got gutted pretty hard when we went to release it because it was so intense that it was just like nobody, the system just went to a crawl with it. It probably still does for a lot of folks. It's really an intense build. But the way that was a fun build to do on our team. We had like 8 of us each did a different section of it because it was such a big design. We didn't want to stick anybody with it. So the way the Rise of the Commonwealth city plans tended to go was we had like a lead designer on each one, and they would do the basically like major structures, figure out where the plots were going to go, and then start decorating. And then they would pass it off to somebody else to do like a second pass of decoration to make sure that they didn't miss any ideas and where things could use some extra clutter. And then that got passed to somebody else who would do the level regression. Basically, because we had to do so many settlements in such a short time, we were trying to avoid anybody burning out, so we passed them around a lot. And when it got to Vault 88, like nobody wanted to do the design. We had the same thing almost happen with Spectacle, and for the longest time we were going to actually break Spectacle into 3 sections and then do them that way, and then that ended up not going anywhere, and then we ended up never even doing a Spectacle design, which is why we ended up with Indy County's Masters winning entry for Spectacle in Rise of the Commonwealth, because we just never did one for Rise of the Commonwealth. That was the only settlement we never did. And D County had since joined the team, the dev team properly, and so he was happy to put that in there. Although I think he told me there's a bug in it, and that, oh man, that's another, fixing city plans. I've talked about this before. Fixing city plans is really painful because it ends up causing a lot of problems for players using the existing one if we do any edits to them. So we're kind of like stuck being, it's really painful to edit city plans right now. So when there's bugs in them, that's why there's probably still to this day a bunch of like floating items and weird bugs in our OTC city plans, is just because fixing them risks screwing up existing saves, and we just haven't come up with a solution to that problem yet. Chris McClam, have you ever gotten into automation games like Factorio? I've never gotten into playing them, but I love watching people do them good. Like I had a kick for a long time. I can't remember the name of the mod pack, and there's probably multiple of them, but Minecraft has some pretty crazy, like, building mods where you build these crazy contraptions and they produce new resources, which then are used to produce some other resource. And watching those I got into a huge kick of watching those. I've spent a lot of time watching people play Satisfactory for the same reason. Like, I think my problem is I don't have enough time to like really get into them anymore. I have very little time to play any like deep games anymore. I got into Stellaris for about 3 days, and I realized it was just bad for me. I had to stop myself. Or is it DC Stellaris or Stellaris? But anyway, I played that and I found myself, I was up 3 nights in a row till 6 in the morning. I got so hooked. I'm like, okay, this game is bad news for me. This is World of Warcraft all over again. I'm just totally obsessed with it. And not in a way I can break free. Like with Bethesda games, maybe I'll do that the first night because I'm so excited, and then after that, I'm just like, okay, it's a loop. It's really fun to explore and really enjoyable, and it's great to get new quests. But I still am able to pull away to sleep. But man, on those 4X games, I love them so much, but man, they suck me in. This is why I'm trying to build this into a pseudo 4X, is because I absolutely adore that genre. But I'm the like one more turn type of guy, and like with Stellaris, where there's no real turns, it's just kind of all real time. It was like there was never the moment of one more turn. It was just perpetual. So it was like I had to stop playing that. And I think Factorio, I'd have the same problem. So I've kind of avoided playing it myself. Beowulf, can we get a quest with hold on, let me read through this and see if I can decipher it. Can we get a quest with Scores, Plague, or the Black Bag or Flu, so you have to stop in a settlement or spread across the Commonwealth? That would be a cool idea. So Beowulf was saying get a quest regarding some like one of the Uber diseases where it like becomes important that you have to fix it. I mean, that would definitely have been a cool thing to do with the Nightingales. Like, I don't think we're doing that. Like, we're pursuing another avenue. But yeah, that would make like its own like major story. Like that's what the story of the base story of 76 was. It was all about trying to quickly come up with a cure before the scorched plague overran everybody. And like, doing that proper with voice characters would be cool. But that is not the direction we are going, and that to me would deserve a pretty massive quest line to do right. Jim Simon, have you ever played 7 Days to Die? The game is a build mode similar to Minecraft, and there's some amazing overhaul mods. It's 6ML based, and your capabilities would do some cool stuff. I actually have played 7 Days to Die briefly. I didn't really get into it. And I don't know why. Like, it had, like, everything appealed to me about it. I think it was a little too, I don't know if it was too intense is the word. Like, I felt like lost, and then was getting punished because I didn't understand mechanics. So like I died a lot, and then it just felt I was getting frustrated, and I didn't really find the atmosphere very, like, I'm not into horror games or like the zombie genre and stuff. So like even like Minecraft, I don't enjoy playing it because it's too unstructured for me. Like I need like clear objectives. I need stuff that I should be doing to focus on. Even if the objective is like, like in something like we're talking about Stellaris, it's like my objective is to take over the universe. Like I have an objective, even if it's like pretty open-ended. But I felt like with Minecraft, I never had that, and I felt the same way with 7 Days to Die. Of like, I'm just like, kind of don't really have any particular objective, so I don't know why I'm doing it, and then, then you add on the frustration, and I don't like the visuals, so the game kind of lost me real quick. Chameleon, could you version a city plan so a fresh save uses the patched version, but an existing one won't have the old city plan? We could. The problem is the script data limit. So if there wasn't this stupid script data limit, we would have done so much more with city plans. So for those of you guys not familiar with the script data limit, we discovered this during development of the city plan packs. After Rise of the Commonwealth came out, we started doing the city plan contest. People started reporting that they were getting an infinite load bug. They would try and load the game, and the thing would just spin, and they wouldn't get past it. And so we did a whole bunch of research on it, and we eventually figured out, like by dumb luck, that the game has 64 megabytes allocated to loading script data that's stored in plugin files. So if you don't know anything about modding, it's a little hard to explain this, but basically, like, you have scripts, which are just like these little files, and then the scripts often need to know about data in the plugin. So the script is just like a bunch of words, right? And it doesn't know, what a 10mm pistol is, or it doesn't know what a residential plot is. And so you have to tell it about that. And you do that by storing information in the plugin that's related to the script. And for some reason, Bethesda has this cap that can only hold 64 megabytes of this data. Well, city plans use that data, and they use a lot of it. Like, each city plan is, several hundred kilobytes. So, you add in 150 city plans and all of a sudden you've hit the cap. And there's other mods that use script data as well. So we went through ROTC and we applied this conversion process to reduce the script data considerably. And then with SS2, we only did the single level plans, again, to reduce our script data footprint. Now for us users, if you're using either Back a Scrap Heap or Buffout 4, you don't have to worry about script data limit. It gets so high you don't have to worry about it. But for Xbox players, it's a big deal because they get locked out of their game. Like if it happens to Xbox players, if you guys hit the script data limit, it's real bad. Like you can get stuck having to erase all your mods in order to get into the game again. So like we are really cognizant of that, and that has really tied our hands when it comes to city plan stuff. Because if we add a new copy of the city plan that's corrected, then we double our data footprint for that script data footprint for that city plan, multiply that out by what we got 35 city plans in our OTC. That's pretty brutal. So that is why we haven't gone with that approach. It's just, there's a lot of technical hurdles that have caused, some problems with city plans. Fortunately, the city plan design contest has created a bunch of professionals who are doing way better work than we did. And they don't have the technical baggage because they've got to benefit from the years of our mistakes. So like the code is just a lot better with SS2 and handling that, so it's less likely you end up with those bugs in the first place. Maximum. There was a mod on Bethesda Net called Renier's Destructible Lights that worked in interior cells. Haven't seen it on the Nexus, unfortunately. Yeah, I anticipated somebody would do a full mod of that. I think the issue and the reason we haven't seen it is because it would require a lot of work by hand, because most of the lights in the game are actually invisible. So even though you might see a fixture on the wall and you could make that destructible, the actual light sources, there might be like 3 invisible sources creating the light for that. So it would be a lot of like manually, one dungeon at a time, going to set that up. And but like there are crazy people like our team who are willing to commit 6-7 years to making the game what they want. So I'm just shocked we haven't had somebody come out, because over the course of the life of Fallout 4, you could definitely have visited every dungeon and set up the lights with this system. I don't think that's unreasonable. It would take a lot, probably a couple 100 hours to do, but it's absolutely doable. Beowulf, can you add small quests that tell Preston to shut up because he keeps acting like the general even when he is one of the small people? Beowulf, did you play Conqueror? One of the things we offered you as an optional objective was to go and murder Preston. We used that in our marketing just as like we were like, all right, let's go all in on the Raider image, which is one of those things where like I'm happy we did it for the experiment, but I also think like we turned a lot of people off of Conqueror with that. But like I remember in our teaser trailer, I think we walk up and like blow Preston's head off with a shotgun, because we knew a lot of people felt that way about Preston. Like it was so bad. I remember I got death threats from people for putting the city manager holotape in the museum because people didn't even want Preston's quest in their quest log. They were so mad at me for making them do that. So like I knew there was like clearly there's just like there's a lot of visceral hate for Preston, for whatever reasons. I kill him every time, makes me so happy. That's I mean I hope one day we get to bring that back. I miss working with the crew we had put together for Conqueror. It was a lot of fun. The voice actors were great. Glenn Jammer's voice actor was awesome. He'd always show up to our team meetings and he'd get all hyped with us. It was awesome. He was at one point, I don't know what happened to this. He was maybe it was because we moved on from development and this is what canceled it for him. At one point when we were mid development, he was gonna do a playthrough himself and like as he's playing talk like Jammer, which I thought was gonna be a lot of fun. And I think when we ended up derailing the development, he opted out of that idea. All right, guys, we're winding down for the night. It's almost midnight, and I do want to get some sleep tonight. So I'll take next 2 or 3 questions you guys got, and then I'm gonna crash. But this has been a good stream. It's been fun. I'm glad we got to some cool stuff in HQ. Got a lot of great notes. I got like 2 full note cards full of things I need to investigate, which is good. I'm sure a lot of it's stuff you guys have already reported before, but you know, whenever I have save files with the stuff happening, it makes it way easier for me to fix it. I'll put out one more call too right now of, if you've got time this weekend, please go try out the public beta. Make sure everything runs smooth for you, and then roll back your save afterward and just install the live version again. You know, just play for a few hours with the new versions, and you know, see if you're running any quirks. If everything's running smooth, report that. If you have anything weird happen, report that, and hopefully we'll have a good patch for next week. It's got a lot of, if you go look at the patch notes list, there's a full patch notes outline linked in that post. Let me find that post actually while I'm talking about it. But would love some more eyeballs on this patch, because always makes me nervous to do a big change without getting a lot of feedback. So here is a link to that forum post. Nick Carter, do you ever hear hammering going on when there's actually no hammering? Yeah, that's the dynamic soundscape. Like, that's what's happening right now. It'll usually only happen like 2 or 3 times, and then it fades away. But the dynamic soundscape looks at all the plots around you, and it's kind of like regional. So it'll be like, right now my character, if I look down where I think my body is right down there by dog meat. So I'm in kind of a residential section, and what it'll do is it actually looks to the sections near you. So like, if you have, let me see if an area I got that has them. So like if you have like a cluster of farms together, like over there we have farms, then in that direction, in that general vicinity, when you're away from there, you'll hear kind of faded sounds, farm sounds. And then like if you have like an industrial section, then from that direction, if you're far away from it, you'll start to hear little industrial sounds. It's kind of all regional. If you ever were to view all the little markers, there's actually like hundreds of tiny little speakers planted all over your settlements that we can emulate, we can play sounds on. And the most common sounds you'll hear are like little hammerings, dog barkings. If your settlement's low happiness, you'll hear gunshots. And once it's high happiness, you'll start hearing things like little clips of music, as if somebody's like playing a radio in their house. So that all that stuff is the dynamic soundscape. If you hate it, you can turn it off. I like it. I like the extra atmosphere it adds, so that it sounds like I'm in a living space, since all my settlers are just dead silent unless I'm right next to them. It'd be kind of cool if the settlers were just wandering around having conversations with them where you could overhear it, but they don't really do that. So you know, we forced it in ourselves. Beebs, hello. I talked about you earlier about all the outfit work you're doing. Hopefully no other issues besides Alyssa. Oh, Beebs, you can answer a question for us. We were asking, is the little crossed out American flag on Wes's outfit, is that new, or was that always in and bugged and you fixed a bug? Like, what's going on with that? Because I don't remember seeing that, and someone else pointed out they don't remember seeing it either. Is that new? I'm doubting you just added it. I'm guessing it was part of the original outfit we got from the Gunner Overhaul, but I'm wondering why multiple of us suddenly feel like it's a new addition. Skywise, I've been playing with it for a few hours on my modded game and my plan design game, and it's been smooth. Awesome, that's good to hear. Beowulf, can you add a quest that make you get some uniform for Diamond City Police Force, because they're a joke as they're looking right now. I doubt we'll do anything like that. I don't think we're gonna mess with Diamond City any more than just you know, we have the ROM there, because there's other mods doing that. Like Monkey's got his the Bleachers mod. I know he's got another big one coming out that's all related to Diamond City characters. So I think there's enough going on there for us not need to mess with it. Karvik, thanks for saying provisional city builders. We could not do this without your mod, mate. You guys are awesome. I love seeing. I can't wait till start doing. I talked about it a lot in the news video earlier today. Of like, I can't wait to get the mega packs out this year. Like, we have so many city plans. Like, I think we're porting most of the winners and finalists from the seasons 1 and 2, and so that, like, you just figure, even if it's just 3 per month for 2 years, and that was actually a little over 2 years. Like, that's what what does that work out to be? 3 times 3. So it's like probably around 70 because one or two people either didn't get back to us or opted they wanted to port them themselves. So probably like 60 or 70 city plans we're porting. And God, how many do we have in season 3? Some of those months we had like 10 or 12 entries. I would bet we're going to have a mega pack. We're going to have like 200 plus city plans available in a single pack sometime later this year, which is really awesome. And that's because you, Carvok, you and your guys, I know it's not all your guys, but like I know you lead the server, so I'm kind of calling it your crew. But all you guys who are engaged in the city plan contest over and over again have really churned out a lot of content, which is really awesome. Yeah, so many city plans. It's going to be really fun when we get to the pre-build system again. Really fun. Like you'll never, no 2 playthroughs will ever be remotely the same. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it for the night. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you guys for donating some super chats. Appreciate that. And yeah, definitely go check out the public beta if you got a few hours to tinker over the next 4 or 5 days, so that I can get some more bug fixes squeezed into the next patch. So, all right, guys, I'll catch you next week.